Because I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Hello. What's up, everybody? We are down a co-host today because she's traveling the world. No, I don't know.
She's trying to grab a Switch 2.
Yeah.
That's the mission impossible to break into Nintendo headquarters.
Yeah, she'll have the
She doesn't want
first
to
one.
Promise them her first child to get a game console and a game.
Yeah. We may have somebody hopping on later, but I'm not sure. So you're stuck with me and Disparu tonight. Not sorry, because we have fun. I'm sorry to Disparu that he doesn't have another bro here so they can take over the stream, but it's okay.
Right. I can do that on my own anyway. That's
yeah,
the plan.
He's like, I have enough testosterone, thank you.
I can talk long enough on my own, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's actually very true. You can.
I have been on streams before where it all ends, your faces come back on the screen, and they just went, you can talk. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult, or please.
I would just say thank you. No,
For
that's
the love
better.
of God, shut your face.
I think that's better because some people make conversations very awkward. So I'd rather have somebody, maybe it's because I'm also someone that might talk a bit too much at times. But I've been told the same thing, and I feel the same way, that it's better to be conversating with someone who always has something to say. And, you know, you can keep the conversation going versus someone who's like very dry and just like says weird stuff and then like doesn't comment any further. You know, have you ever had someone like that you have a conversation with? You're just like, okay, I'm just gonna go.
Celebrity interviews. Have you seen those where they ask them a question? It's like, so you're doing this movie and it was kind of this happening and I thought it looked good. And like, yep. And they just wait. And sometimes I know interviewers and journalists and stuff, they're trained that to try and get people to talk more, they will ask them a question and just pause. And if the person does a response, they don't reply because people want to fill the dead air. People don't. They're like playing chicken with them. Like, no, I will kill this entire interview with one word.
Just staring each other down like, who's going to say something next? It's on you, buddy.
My favorite, one of the favorites was, I think David Blaine. Off his, you can tell, off his face. And he's not giving anything back to
the musician, the magic guy. The magician, yeah. Magic guy.
But it's some kind of morning breakfast show in the UK, and he's asking him questions, giving him nothing back. So he's like desperate for a topic. Like, you've got a mark on your hand. He's like, yes, and he just goes, and you can tell by his there's nothing going on, and he's like, what is it? It's protection. And the guy, he's like, I'm in danger. Protection from death. I know, like, what the hell is happening? This is weird.
It's like, you wanted me to talk. There you go. That's what I mean. Like, you either get someone who can keep a conversation going well or someone like that.
Yeah. Because someone's asked him, like, since you've done interviews with like thousands of people by this point over decades of a career, what's that one? He always says that one.
That one actually scared me a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, celebrity interviews sometimes. I've watched like compilations of them, and some are like very like cringy, you know, like the one, not that I wouldn't say that it was Robert Downey Jr.'s fault on this one, but the one, because you know when they go into interviews, like, okay, don't talk about this or this. They make sure that what topics they can't discuss are known. But that one interview, was he British or something? You know what I'm talking about? Like the black guy that just kept pushing
that guy's renowned for that, by the way. That's his style of interview. He will specifically try and just have a go at someone. He's basically a set-up journalist. He will ask you questions to get you in trouble.
Be safe, X-Ray. Yeah, you better not be texting and driving.
But yeah, that Robert Downey Jr. clip is used in multiple videos who basically showed, like, this is how you handle hostile people.
Yeah.
Because he handled it kind of really well. He gave him a chance. You gave him the opportunity to back down, and he kept pushing. And Downey Jr. had the correct... Journalists think they're the ones in charge. They're the ones that matter. It's like, no, you're only there because Downey Jr. is. You're irrelevant. And that's the attitude that he took with him. He's like, I'll just go.
I love
Your-
it. And it was his
your job's over.
publicist too that was just like, okay, we're done here. And he's just like, yeah, like, come on, dude. Like, he just
Mhm.
got it was a classy exit. Like, I don't think he was cringy, but that reporter or whatever, extremely cringy. Does that guy even do interviews anymore? Because there was quite a few that
Oh,
that guy did that you said he liked to push buttons and thought that he was gonna get something. But it's like, you should know they're just gonna walk off. What do you think? They're celebrities. If they're scared to walk away from you, no. It
that
makes them look
journalist,
cooler that they're just like, goodbye.
that journalist, he seems to specialize in just civilizational destruction. Like everything he supports is awful and evil and horrific to the most amount of people he can possibly find. So yeah, it's because I think he's a Channel 4, ITV or Channel 4, and I think it's the same channel that did the famous, what's his name, Jordan Peterson interview, where they're like, "So what you're saying? So what you're saying is," and he'll like reply to it. So what you're saying is, just says something completely different than what he actually replied, just to try and get him in trouble. They just want a clip of him, her saying something awful, and him saying yes. That's all they're after.
Yep. And speaking of journalists, I feel like this is a good time to bring up these idiots on Deadline. Did you see this?
No.
Deadline. So when Val Kilmer passed,
Oh, I think I did. Yeah, the wrong
I seen
photo.
it. Yeah, when they first posted it, I seen it. And I was like, I think Steph was the first I seen to repost it. And I was like, are they serious right now? And I don't even think they actually ended up posting anything to, like, obviously they're not going to admit that they were wrong, but they should have reposted something remembering Val. They could have went with Tombstone. They could have went with Willow, something, just to like, it just, they took it down because they screwed up, and then they just like didn't even bother. As far as I know, if someone in the chat knows, I didn't like do a deep dive in their timeline, but I did look once it was deleted, and I didn't see anything that day. But it's ridiculous because 2 minutes for a search, not even 30 seconds. Our phones, like my phone, I'm sure everyone has it. I don't know about Apple, but I have Google Lens. So if I see something I like, I can take a picture of it and then Google Lens it to find the product or like an area like, hey, that looks cool. Like, where is this place?
I don't know this, but I think
but you
this
could
is
do
a
that.
women
Just,
be
like,
shopping moment, isn't it? This is
I
just
mean,
like,
it
I see
is.
something on a video and I need to buy it.
It's true. I do that quite a bit, like especially on like Instagram. Like, oh, that's a nice dress. Screenshot, Google Lens. Where did she get it? I do it all the time. But it just the technology, everything. It's so. And these are supposed to be journalists. That's the really sad part. What Anna said was right. Deadline was getting full on roasted. They really were. It was funny. So they deleted their post for reporters. The fact that you can't even get the right Batman really calls into question all the facts you post.
Well,
Very true.
If they really cared about just remembering him, then yes, they would have posted something with him actually in it. But
Yeah.
they're doing it for clicks and like reputation, get people to the website. So
Mhm.
they just saw bad press. If we post it again, all the comments are going to be, "Oh, well, at least you got it right this time." And so we'll skip the drama and the trouble, and we'll let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah.
It's about
Hoagie's is
image.
right. What's up, Ian? Who are we talking about?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, that was the guy.
There you go. I don't remember his name. His name is Guru.
I like how I just described him as a journalist obsessed with civilizational collapse, and he's like, Guru Murphy! That's the god.
He's like, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was were you are you a Val Kilmer fan?
I've seen him in stuff. I'd have to go through his IMDb and know what I actually know him from.
I would say Willow, Tombstone, and Batman are probably not his best roles, but the ones that are out there the most.
I
that
just remember
everyone
him in
knows.
Willow because he's like the love interest.
Mardigan, yeah. I love him.
They really did him dirty in the CV
That's what I
series though
heard.
as well.
So I actually just watched it for the first time. Oh yeah, and Top Gun. You're right. He was Iceman in Top Gun. So those are the big ones.
Oh yeah, because he came back. Yeah, he couldn't talk and stuff.
I saw back in Maverick. Yeah. Sorry, someone's driving by with really loud music. It ruined my concentration.
We can't hear it on the mic, so
that's good. That's good. Well, that's why I still have my noise cancellation on for reasons like that. Because sometimes degenerates gotta drive by and bump their music. Those darn teenagers.
I do like that degenerates is getting more popular.
I just get outside. You see me open my window. Turn it down. I'm turning into an old lady.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. But yeah, I actually watched Willow for the first time the other day. And then I'm like, now I understand why everyone hated the show so much because they did him dirty. Mad Mardigan is he's definitely one of my favorite though. Val Kilmer characters. He's just so so crazy, but in the best way. But yeah, like they could have just posted something else. They screwed up. Like, oops. Okay, let's throw up Tombstone or something. Something else.
Yeah, but then they just have they get roasted again. It's like kicking a beehive. They'd probably be better off leaving it up, and then at least they get the virality of being wrong, rather than just having a load of people go, "Oh, so you fixed it, but you didn't care about him, did you?" It is a kind of a non-win situation.
Yeah.
Which is probably how you could tell if they actually cared about the thing, because then it was like, well, the point is getting it, like, posting something rather than clicks. But as you saw there,
they wanted clicks.
Yeah, it linked to an article they'd written. That was the only reason they'd like, oh, this guy's died. That's an article.
Yeah. What did you think of? Hold on. Which one do I want to? You know what? Let's just get this out of the way. This is the episode that you said that Gary completely gave up on Daredevil. And there's a group that I'm in that uploads stuff so I don't have to technically sail the high seas, but it's a group where things get put in, and shout out. I love that group so much. They actually stopped posting this was the first episode of Daredevil they stopped posting. And I was wondering why. I was like, okay, so I asked Disparu to send me a link. And he's like, yeah, this is where everyone's kind of checking out.
I sent the Disney Plus subscription page.
Yeah, he did. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, we definitely didn't Jack Sparrow it. Come on, guys, that's not right. But no, I watched it on 1.5 speed. I subscribed to
Disney Plus.
Did you?
I always do.
He's like, I don't care. I bet. Well, you sent me a link because I'm not.
No, hey, if you're producing content for my channel, I want you to make more of it. I want Willow to be the biggest financial success of all time.
He wants more Willow. He wants more She-Hulk.
This is what people like. I can't believe you give it. Oh, well, duh. Like, have you seen the quality of Gundam? They pumped out Willow and She-Hulk. These people are geniuses.
He's like, don't you want my videos, guys?
Obviously, I want a She-Hulk season 2. Yeah.
But this episode, it's boring. One. And what the heck is Muse? So I'm not savvy on the comics, so I don't know what role he played in the comics.
The reason why people gave up on this episode is this was the first episode where the new creators, they were like, oh, because before there was a previous series that got cancelled because it was trash. So they remade it, and this is the first one they had total control. So there is no excuses now. Everything else is, oh, well, they're having to stitch it together. That's why this is the give up point. This is as good as it gets.
Yeah. Ian, Warwick Davis is under Disparu's desk. That's where
he's actually on a seat next to me.
Holding the desk milk. So that it's not technically desk milk anymore. It's I'm not going to finish that sentence because it'll sound weird.
You're going to make a joke about milking Warwick Davis?
No, but that's what it would have turned into. Yeah, but that episode was really boring. Muse was kind of wasted. He was in 3 episodes? And
yes, and this is a guy we're supposed to be scared of who can go toe-to-toe with Daredevil because he took 3 months of taekwondo with a trainer who he then killed. So he got better than the trainer, the master, in 3 months. He just beat him in a fight.
And he was like 16?
There was nobody. Like, nobody with that much soy in their veins could beat up any kind of martial arts master. This is a guy that had to go to therapy because his feelings hurt him a bit too much. So, oh no, sorry, I'm a bit too much of an artist. Oh.
That gave Disparu a headache.
It does. It's like the stupidity gets to me. It's like you can't have it both ways. You can't. We hired one of the best taekwondo masters in the world. He trained him for 3 months. Are you an idiot? Like, just have him be an older person so you can be like, oh, actually, he trained for a decade.
They need shortcuts. Even if they're talking in the past, they can't take the time to actually develop a character, don't you know?
But this is what there was no need. Just don't say how long he trained for. Say he trained since birth. He popped out of the womb kicking his mum down the birth canal. There's so many ways you could just... You make the story. I'm like, no, it was 3 months. Are you sure
3
you
months.
can learn that in 3 months? Yes.
That sounds like a Mazda story.
Taekwondo is a piece of piss. It only takes 3 months. All those masters that train for waste of time.
That sounds like a Mazda story. How long did it take you to learn Taekwondo? 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months and some banana milk, and I'm here.
Beat everyone else like simultaneously. They all started
Yeah.
kicking themselves in the face just because of
Yeah.
my genius as I walked in there.
But it seems so just lame because they did the build up for this villain, and then boom, he's just taken out really, really fast, you know?
I don't.
And by the therapist. And like you, so I don't know.
That was awkward. Did you notice that cut?
It was
Like, they're
very awkward,
fighting,
yeah.
And then he kind of puts him over there. Next thing, it jumps to her, and he just gets shot, and it's in an entirely different. It feels wrong. It feels like you suddenly jumped there. Like, oh, have I just missed something?
Yes, Ian. That's what he
I
would
wouldn't
say.
be surprised if it was added in afterwards. Or sometimes they're like, well, we were filming the scene and we ran out of time, so we just had to end the choreography. It was that kind of thing. It didn't feel like they worked up for it that way deliberately.
No, and that sucks because the fight choreography, the scenes were amazing in the Netflix Daredevil, and they're just so mediocre in this one. I mean, everything about this show is mediocre now, but yeah, that was awkward. You're right. And then now we got Kingpin just taking over. Like, oh yeah, don't tell them that it was Daredevil. It was me. I told you I'm going to get rid of the masks. Um, I don't.
Well,
I can see why people checked out, but oh, sorry, I missed the point that I was going to make. You were telling me this before we started. I guess you guys had this conversation at F&T because Gary knows the lore for Muse, and you know I don't.
2 weeks ago, Gary was like, Daredevil can't see him. That's
Yeah.
why he's That's why he's the perfect villain for Daredevil, because then he's actually blind. So that would even make sense. Oh well, I've only trained for 3 months in Taekwondo. I can't even say the word. But because I'm invisible to you, you can't hear me. I have an advantage. I can now set up traps you can't see and stuff. It'd be way better than beat you up in a fight. Well,
Yeah,
kind of.
it seemed like it went too fast, and even though I was watching it on 1.5, so I was going a bit faster, but even that, it just, I don't know, they could have done way better. Like
Well,
I
it's
build up
because-
for this villain to just get him, like it's like they were building him up to be the big
I
bad.
don't
So
have a
what
problem with
is Fisk gonna be the big bad again? I guess, but we've already
Like-
seen that. Give us something. I don't know.
I have
something
no
else.
problem with Monster of the Week or Villain of the Week, because
No,
that's how TV
but he
series are
seemed-
regularly scheduled.
But he
The
seems like
issue
he's
with
gonna be
this
a
is-
bigger, you know.
Well, the issue with this is they build it up, and there's nothing. And like, well, you're building up to something, and then it's over in an instant. Like, oh no, now I'm gonna have to sit through 2 hours of nothing again, where you try and make something else happen. It's only a problem with the pacing of the show. That's why I like Monster of the Week, because
Yeah, I
it's a good-
can't disagree with that.
it's the perfect pacing for an hour, and there's always something happening. You're always getting something. It's always satisfying. And the problem is this: if you got 5 minutes battle at the end of 3 episodes where he's the main point of them, that's why I liked episode 5. I know a lot of people hate episode 5, but
The St.
it
Patrick's
still
Day one?
It felt like the bank one. It felt
Yeah.
like an episode of television.
I liked
because
that one
it was
too.
Self-contained, wrapped up itself. And yeah,
And it was just
I
Matt.
can pick apart the plot, the characters, how annoying people were, sure, but I'm comparing it to the other episodes in the series. Nothing happens. So
No, and
it was
I
improvement.
prefer, since they got rid of the trio, I prefer just Matt. That was a nice episode because it was just
Yes.
him, no side dialogue between the detective and wait, are they both detectives? Actually, I don't know, the one's a lawyer. The detective and the lawyer. Like, she's like, I trust you guys. I just wish you trust me too. Wah. Like, I don't care about you characters. I don't want little side dialogue with you. Give me back Karen and Foggy, which I know we're not going to get them back, but that was part of what
They
made
could have both got pushed off a roof for all I care.
But those three together was more interesting to hear their conversations. And if Karen and Foggy, they had more passion and just, I guess it's just that I was more interested in their characters. So having
but they're from
them
an
do
entirely
si-
different, unrelated TV series. They
I'm
were
going to
only
always
there to-
compare it though,
They
because
were only there to try and bring across nostalgia to this entirely unrelated series, which is why
It's
they
true.
added them in for a time.
Yeah.
But it is a case of they made a big mistake showing episode 5 and 6 back to back, because the moment 6 started and you introduced the side characters, the entire tone of everything changed and went downhill, because these people are just, I don't even know why they're there. I got to see Daredevil doing Daredevil stuff, and the next thing you're hitting me with therapists. Some random reporter who's waffling on about a hole in the ground or whatever it was. And it just
this is going to
ruins
fill the
entire
hole. He goes from
Oh, you can't
smashing
just-
heads to filling holes. That's epic.
It's like when Fisk is told, well, you can't do this because the law stops you, it'd be like, okay. Fair enough. And then he goes away and fixes it. That's what you want to see. You want to see him using his criminal contacts to get around the law, so that everyone goes, well, you can't just do that to a doc. And then he gets it done anyway. And you could show that actually having someone who knows organized crime as the mayor is actually good and it does get stuff done. And then you have Daredevil essentially trying to stop a guy who's doing good for the city. It's such an easy story that's in the plot, and they just haven't done anything with it.
That's how Disparu fixes everything. Just push him off a roof.
I'm not sure there's any problem that can't be solved with pushing enough people off a roof.
Let me get a couple of these super chats, and then we'll get into another topic here.
What's the best way to enjoy your slinky? Push it off a roof.
A roof, though? You don't get to see the fun of it going down the stairs.
You get to see it multiple times. It comes back up to the pissing roof.
Is that a Jimmy Carr joke?
No.
Okay.
No,
he has those smirk that he has when he tells a Jimmy joke.
No, he does have a slinky joke. I think it's something like, what does a teacher and a slinky have in common? They're both fun to watch fall down the stairs.
There you go, chat. We're 20 minutes in and you got a Jimmy Carr joke.
You're the one that asked for it.
I did. Ken, thank you for the Canadian too. Lovely, Wicked Virtue, and Disparu. Good evening. Good evening, Ken. Thank you so much for buying those shirts. I saw them on X. I appreciate that. Clyde Dashing for 5. Wicked using a blunderbuss to get kids off her lawn. I fully support and will fund. I'll take a blunderbuss. I mean, I have one, but it's not real.
I mean, a blunderbuss is basically just a stick of, well, like a metal pipe that you shove crap in. That's all it is. It's not a refined weapon. Any metal tube will do.
Any metal tube. Justin Martins for 5. Don't worry, Disparu. Ironheart is still coming.
So's Doctor Who this week. And G20.
What's G20?
Oh, if you've not seen the trailer, I think it's an Amazon trailer, so I don't know whether they claim or not. It is where the black female president of the United States, so clearly thought that a certain person was going to win, because it was made way back then. I think there's a threat to her life, and so she just goes John Wick. And you have the female president of the United States just slaughtering people.
Hold on a second.
Like, this is going to be glorious.
What's it called? G12?
G20, I think it is. I think it's an Amazon movie, an Amazon Prime movie.
Hold on,
I gotta see this. The trailer is amazing. The trailer is amazing.
To see it. I don't know if we can watch a trailer. You're right, but I'll pull up. Wow!
It's coming out on the 10th.
We just gotta look at the picture. Chad, do you guys know about this?
It's gonna be like London Has Fallen, but with diversity. Yeah, I think this was the same one. It's like I'd quite like to be. I think she said John Wick. She might have actually said John Wick. It was some kind of action hero.
Okay, so the overview is going to be released April 10th. Okay, so you've got quite the busy week. Who's in this? I don't know any of these people. Oh, Anthony Anderson, I know him. Oh, Viola Davis. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, Doctor Who is coming out on the 12th. This is coming out on the 10th.
Well, interesting.
Oh, they got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. guy in it.
Yeah, yeah, Clark Gregg.
Coulson, not Carlson, yeah. Carlson was Fresh Prince.
Carlton.
Very different characters. Oh, yeah, that's the one, Carlton.
Yeah, no, close enough. Oh, they have him, Homelander, Anthony Starr.
Oh, I didn't recognize him with darker hair.
That picture and the glasses, I didn't recognize him either. He looks, okay, well, not surprised, it's Amazon.
Maybe he'll be sucking on Viola Davis.
Maybe.
That's just like his thing now. He has to do it in every movie. It's like Will Smith is in a movie. He has to show his backside. He just does it in every movie for some reason. It's weird. He's always getting out of a shower for no reason whatsoever.
Who, Homelander?
No, Will Smith.
Oh.
There are so many movies where he's just in a shower for no reason. And he always has to just show him walking out of it. Happens every time. It was even in that zombie movie. I think it was the zombie movie. He's like the last man alive surrounded by zombies and he's trying to find a cure for them. He's just in a shower for no reason whatsoever.
Like, we gotta capitalize on
well, yeah, like, well, we paid for Will Smith, that includes his arse.
That includes the shower.
It happens so often, it makes me wonder if he puts that in the contract. It's like, well, if I'm gonna be in this movie, I've got to show my arse.
I did squats, okay? it needs to be seen.
I'm like proud of that thing. Follows me everywhere.
Andrew Matthews, thank you for being a member for 13 months. Shang-Chi's sister became the best martial artist in the world by watching.
She watched somebody else fight and then reinvented his training and his how he fights and improved it just by watching him fight.
Checks out to me.
Movies are getting written by people who've never been punched in the face, and that's a mistake.
He's like, they need to be punched in the face and then thrown off a roof for good measure.
Hey, I think we get better stories.
Scattered Night for 2, thank you. I did hear that Foggy is going to return via season 2. I heard something about that.
No one will know.
Yeah.
No one's going to watch, so it'll just be a mystery.
Thing. I know. It was a scheduling thing, which is why the two couldn't, Karen or Foggy couldn't be on. But I feel like everybody, is kind of going to be checked out by that point, at least the fans of the Netflix show. So we'll see.
I don't believe that Foggy's acting schedule is so rammed with business.
I know him. I can see Karen maybe
in an episode.
We have to check. We're going to look back on that and see like what they have done. Like look up the actors and the actress and the actor just to see like if nothing comes out, then that was complete crap, and it was just them trying to like change the story and bring in the Hispanic and the black guy.
You saw him in anything.
That's true. He's like, of course it's crap.
Out right now. Yeah.
There you go. He's like, you know what? I'm going to find out.
What was the last thing he was in? He was in Daredevil. How to Tie a Noose. That's a short. That doesn't count. Killers of the Flower Moon. 2023. Already there. The Mighty Ducks. He was in 2 episodes in 2021 and 2022.
Oh, look out.
Yeah. The previous one was a video where he narrated it in 2020. Before that, it was Daredevil. Like, this is not a busy man.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, after, I want to look it up, like, and see what's going on, like, next year with both of them. And see, I mean, for him, probably complete goal. Karen, yeah, that's what I mean. But, would it be on now if it's in works?
Yeah, well, because Daredevil's out, right? So whatever he was working on at the time would have been announced with him in it. I have a feeling IMDb pages get updated pretty regularly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe it. I mean, they might now try to bring them back because the show's not doing well, but we'll see. Hirokami, thank you for the £2. Chat won't let me type a Jimmy Carr joke. They don't let Disparu either, so he has to put it in the private chat.
It depends what the words are. It depends how severe the joke is.
Oh, here we go. You'll know this. I don't, but I know you will. Kathy Newman, Disparu.
Yeah, Kathy Newman was the Jordan Peterson one. So what you're saying is...
Oh, I thought it was a joke. Never mind. I'm like, he'll know this one.
No, that was the... where he'd do things like, I think that people should sacrifice themselves and work hard and do everything in your life. And she's like, so what you're saying is we need to wipe out China. Like, no, I didn't say that. And she, like, I actually just think that we should go around and we should improve ourselves and earn money so that we can raise a family. And she's like, so you think we should steal from people? It's like, no, I never said that. It was the most wild interview. She's just utterly lying about him to his face.
That's funny. Mark Reality for 5, thank you. So how would G20 compare to Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? Another president of the United States kicking A and taking names. I've never seen that, but I heard it's actually a fun watch. The Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that movie.
You haven't seen that one either? I heard it's a fun watch. I don't know if it's actually like a
I
good
was thinking
movie,
of,
but, you know,
Bell Housing with Kate Beckinsale's the one I thought it was at first.
No.
Anthony Mackie's in that. I didn't know.
What, in the Vampire Hunter one?
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln.
He was also in 8 Mile. There's a lot of jokes that get made. He's Clarence is his real name in 8 Mile. Anyways.
Oh, Benjamin Walker, Rings of Power guy. He was Abraham Lincoln. Gilgadaddy. Gilgadaddy. He was Abraham Lincoln in that movie. Rings of Power.
Oh, okay. That went over my head. I remember now. The Doors film. Thank you, Hirokami, for the 2. Have you seen that one? I've seen it's what Val Kilmer is. He plays Jim Morrison. It's a good film. I think it's pretty long too. I've seen it a long time ago. Interesting. So, are you a Gundam fan? Like into any of the Gundam stuff?
Only as far as it goes to It's a Gundam, and that's where my knowledge ends.
Oh, okay. Well, then we probably won't get much for this, but let's get this
Yeah,
one out of the
the
way.
only really mech related anime that I think I've seen a couple of mech related animes, but there was Code Geass. That's the only one I've seen, not actually Gundam.
Oh, okay. Well, I had friends that used to get together and build Gundams, and they would like 3D print and paint and just do all this like extra stuff with it. Um, so they're big Gundam fans. I've never read or watched anything Gundam related. But Sydney Sweeney is in final talks to star in legendary live action Gundam movie, and she will
Well,
reportedly be paid 7 million. Oh, is there an article here?
the main issue with
Oh, here
this,
we
I
go.
know those robots have like severely advanced technology and stuff,
Hmm.
but I don't think they can balance out how front heavy a robot would be. It'll just
Ah,
fall. It's going to have a balance problem. It's not going to be able to fight.
yeah. So I think people are going to be excited about. I think people will be excited about this because guys just like to watch Sydney Sweeney and
Yeah, but not in a mech.
oh yeah, but you think they're not going to use her assets? She's going to get out of the mech.
People would want if she was like serving tea to the people getting out of the mechs, that would probably do better. Unless
Yeah.
there's like in mech, I don't know what the anime is, but if there's sort of in mech views of the pilot, I suppose that
Yeah.
could work. But if you're just watching a robot fight,
Shit.
to defeat the object, unless the Gundams have boob armor.
They might. What if the boob armor jiggles?
Yeah, we need to. For her, they've got like a new advanced robot, and it's got sort of liquid
A
metal.
Sweeney bot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like liquid metal, sort of Terminator 3, so it jiggles. That's the only way.
I'm trying to see if what else. I didn't even know there was an article. They added it to
Sweeney's
the
recent films
comments.
include Madam Web and Immaculate.
And Ron Howard's Eden. They didn't even put. I'm surprised they didn't put what is it? Anyone But You.
Euphoria. Oh.
And well, yeah, that too.
I mean, Euphoria is what she's known for, not Madam
Yeah.
Web.
No, and that's probably for the best because Madam Web didn't do well.
I do
So-
think she would suit because it also said Scandalous. Scandalous sounds like a movie that she should be in, not Immaculate.
yeah.
I don't even know what Immaculate is, but it sounds like the wrong kind of movie for Sydney Sweeney. It's like it's like The Virgin Mary. It's not a movie that Sydney Sweeney should be in.
She's got a few things. She's got that boxing movie that's coming out. What is your take on, so I'll say mine first and then get yours, on her calling off her marriage. One, I don't care, but if I'm going to put my 2 cents in, if for whatever her reasoning
her
is,
husband?
I think it was just someone that I don't think he was like a celebrity or anything, but
That's what I
think
would have
it's-
expected.
yeah, it's probably for the best because one, like regular, not to be rude about regular people, but when someone who's just normal
Regular people.
marries like a celebrity, sometimes they're not cut out for that
The
life.
thing about humans. No, he's a film producer.
Oh, is he? Okay, never mind. So, but my thing is, if she
Oh,
called
he
it off,
produced
there was
Immaculate.
like obviously some issues.
Anyone
right?
But You.
So
Isn't
it's
that movie that caused all the trouble?
yeah, the one she was in with Glenn Powell. But yeah, so I don't really care that she called it off, but the thing is with these celebrities, we don't know details, and it could even be like a publicity stunt and they get back together. You know what I mean? Because it's celebrities, so I don't really care. But if they really are done, it's probably for the best for him because like, what if she would have went through with the marriage and then they got divorced? Like, would you rather end it before you get married or get a divorce?
Okay, now it makes it seem like he's only a producer because of her. Because if
Really?
you go on his IMDb page, he's known as a producer for Immaculate, which she was she in that? Or could you scroll down to where it says Immaculate again? Because I
Yeah.
saw the name, but I think it said she was in it.
Yeah.
Sydney
She's
Sweeney's recent film,
work. Yeah.
So he was on that, The Player's Table, which was a mini series of TV, The Caretaker, which I don't think is even out. So the one which is
really,
out,
John Thomas? Oh, that's weird.
the one which is out, she was in, and that's his only producer credit, which has been released. So it seems like they got married and she got him producer roles. So he's not in the industry, but he got it through her. So for that reason, I think she's just after an upgrade.
Maybe people are saying Glenn Powell. Is anyone really going to be surprised if she ends up with him? He was her co-star in
There's a very
Anyone But You, and there was all
interesting picture.
of them.
Yeah, hang on, I could
Here,
share
share
it.
it.
This is one of like it's a kind of like me when I've just seen a new steak. Oh, it's that
Steak.
kind of
Just for when he sees a steak. My gosh.
when she's looking
Yeah.
at you like
That
that.
body
it's like,
language.
yeah.
Oh my
I'm
gosh. Hi,
covering my
Lulu.
boobs.
Don't look at my boobs.
I'm pushing them up completely for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, I think it's a very simple thing of girl makes fortune, realizes husband doesn't make as much as her, dumps him for a better one. I think that's all it is.
That too, and celebrities are known to fall for each other on set, right? Especially when they do like a romantic movie and you're in these scenes together, and if you have chemistry, I'm not like sticking up for her, and I don't really care. I'm just saying, like, if you have chemistry, I think it's better for that guy for her
I
to
think
go
chemistry
instead of
is a
like
load of nonsense, but
instead of like it's there. It's a real thing, Disparu.
no,
Now-
it's very basic biological chemicals that you get because something is new. That's all it is. So obviously you're not going to have that with your husband after 17 years or whatever they were together, compared to the new guy that you've just met. Yeah, he makes you produce chemicals that the other one doesn't. But it's more common with actors where they have to go to like a foreign country on the other side of the world for months at a time, and so yeah, obviously you get close to the person you're next to rather than the one on the other side of the world. So I can understand why it happens.
Something that's just so would that be a pickup line for you? Like, you make me produce chemicals.
Where do you think the term chemistry comes from? It is just, oh yeah, you get flooded full of endorphins the moment they walk around the room. This whole point of going with strange. Oh, he's going out for a bit of strange. Yeah, because that is new and unusual, and people like new things. If you ate steak your entire life, you'd be like, oh, can I kill for another meal? That's all it is. People like variety.
I like steak. If you give me steak or chicken, I'm gonna always go for the steak forever. But I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, that was just you suddenly talking about food. Food
well, now
is
I'm
definitely
hungry,
the wrong
thanks.
topic.
No, I know. You're not supposed to bring up food in front of me, or actually, you should know this
you
by
can't bring
now.
up food around a woman. What
No,
on
we're
earth did you think would happen?
We're always hungry. So
You think it'd be the other way around, right? Because men are the one that go out and hunt. They should be the ones which are obsessed with the food. No, that's not true.
Yeah.
They're like, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. It's like, have you heard women talk about food? Like, seriously.
Oh my goodness, it hurts.
All we need is Daredevil.
Oh my gosh. John Thomas has been a member for I can't even talk now.
No,
Has
it's
been a member
rumored.
for 13 months. Any truth she's going to play Black Cat in Spider-Man 4? That would be smart, but probably not.
I think it's rumored and fan casting, so it's more what people want. But then
Let me see if I still have it. I talked about this on Wicked's World the other day, and I tried to remove bookmarks because I just, not that it actually matters, but just I have so many of them, and I'll be looking for something, and I'm like, I got like 50 of this one, and I can't find what I'm looking for.
You can get bookmark organizers and stuff, or just store them in folders.
No, I mean bookmarked on Twitter.
Oh, then I just use the search bar at the top. So
there's a
as long as
search
you know
bar
what
in the
the topic is.
bookmarks?
Yeah. Right
Oh
at the
my
top.
goodness.
It even says
There
search.
is.
It even says search in the search bar.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
That's gonna save me a lot of time now. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. I use it all the time. It's amazing.
The more you know. This is why we need guys.
It's right there at the top every time you click the page. I think it even loads first before the bookmarks load. Yeah, because I use it. Anything I'm interested in, I just bookmark, and I started trying to sort them into folders. Like, no, this isn't. I'm too lazy for this. So search bar it is.
Okay, I think I actually had it on Instagram. If I can't find it, I'll just look it up.
Okay,
I know.
can't help you there. I can't
you can
allow
help
you
me
to
there.
search on Twitter for something you saved in a different place.
Well, it was Sadie Sink. You know who that is from Stranger Things? She was Max on
No.
Stranger Things, the redhead.
No.
Yeah, if you've seen her facial, though.
I
So
tried to forget a lot of Stranger Things.
she, yeah, she's rumored to. I guess I'll just pull up this one. She's gonna be she's casted in Spider-Man. And the funny thing is people they don't know if she's gonna be an X-Men character or Mary Jane, but like why would she be Mary Jane if they already have Mary Jane and the Tom Holland one? She would have been such a better casting as Mary Jane, a redhead. So they're gonna bring a redhead on. I wouldn't be surprised if they dye her hair or give her a wig and make her Gwen Stacy.
It's like, oh yeah, Spider-Man goes around risking his life to save the city. Why?
Why?
Like if you're gonna have these people which superheroes are into, they're gonna have to be attractive. You can't. It's so wild that oh no, let's go for this person that people could just project themselves into. You've got to have an average run-of-the-mill person.
I think she's prettier than Zendaya and a better actress too, as far as I've seen. But it's just
I think the same thing about Zendaya. I don't think Zendaya should be a superhero's wife either.
No, and especially Mary Jane, because Mary Jane is supposed to be like I have the one up there. She's supposed to have that like voluptuous body. She's a model, drop dead gorgeous, and then we get freaking frumpy, and they don't even make Zendaya look good in it. She looks all frumpy. Yeah, she's like a boy
heroes
crispy.
and heroines, right? So if heroes and heroines are the best of you, attractiveness comes down to genetic health. If they're supposed to be these supreme beings, they would be attractive naturally in the first place. They are not normal, average. Superheroes are not a story like normal, everyday Joes that just slob out on like constantly watching Netflix and then go out to save the world. No, these are supposed to be like peak humanity. And it's like, no, we just want to have it so that ordinary people can think they're Spider-Man and Superman.
Yeah, no, you can't be. You're supposed to
be saved by me. If I was a superhero, I'd come out more like what was the Will Smith one?
Here we go, back on Will.
Hank or something. And he was just like a slob that couldn't be bothered to save people unless they were right in front. That'd be me if I had superpowers. I'm going out to save the world.
See, like this is a bit of a better, but she's also young, so I'm not going to sit here and rag on her. This girl's pretty young. Definitely a better choice for Mary Jane, I would say, than Zendaya, and she's also a redhead.
Yeah, and she looks way better in that photo than the other one.
Yeah, the one was just about, I think that she's a pretty girl. But yeah, you're right. It's even looking back on Peter Parker, Toby's Peter Parker, he looked all like dorky, right? He's kind of had that Clark Kent thing going on where he's just knocking things over, clumsy, whatever. But then
I don't even like Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
No, Toby's the best Spider-Man in my opinion. And Andrew Garfield is also good. He was definitely good looking, and he'd be second for me. But Toby, when he becomes Spider-Man, he's all jacked and he looks better. You know what I mean? Like he's not the dorky little nerd anymore. So
Tom Holland looks like he's 12 forever, and then you end up with this 65-year-old 12-year-old, and it just looks weird. As he ages, it looks stranger and stranger because he still looks 12, but like a 12-year-old vampire is the way he looks. So
12-year-old
I know you're
vampire.
not 12, but you also look kind of creepy like a 12-year-old. This is bizarre.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I just find that so funny. They're gonna cast a pretty redhead, but she's not Mary Jane. People were saying like, I wonder if she's gonna be Mary Jane. I'm like, no. There's already Mary Jane. A very boring, frumpy. Even her acting is just so, like, it's just lame. Kirsten Dunst as MJ. Love her or hate her, she did a better job than Zendaya. She looked the part better, and she had more of a personality. It just seems like Zendaya kind of has that, at least for Mary Jane, her character is kind of like Kristen Stewart, very dry.
Zendaya has the perfect attitude for modern femininity. It's the people sort of piss out on Dune, but it was true. She walks around as if she's got a bad smell all the time. It's like she looks constantly repulsed, which is just how Hollywood sees the world. They're like, I'm above all of this. And the way Tom Holland was speaking about it, he said that the movies and everything love casting them together because it's so much easier to book for them. They want the same hotel rooms. They go on the same flights. So you essentially cut down the work by half. So casting them together is perfect. And if one's on a movie, the other one's probably more likely to sign as well because their husband or wife is already working on the movie. Um, and so I think they kind of benefit from that. But even as a couple, I wouldn't even put them together as a couple, let alone anything else in a movie. I don't know. I find them weird castings as anything, especially as superheroes.
I'm
When I
so
look at Tom
tired
Holland, I
of.
don't think of superhero.
No, I'm tired of the casting. I wish I would have saved it. I don't know who made it. Maybe that's why I didn't save it. It was just like a meme page that shared it, and the comments just went nuts. Like, can we stop casting these freaking people?
Ah,
Not that they were getting cast, but it was like, I might be able to find it actually.
well, it
Oh,
is the
here it
same
is.
cast.
Here it
It,
is.
it is the same people being cast in so many movies that nobody really likes. But it's almost as if Hollywood don't have any other people. They have to cast these people because they're the only ones that they know in Hollywood. Don't seem to be trying to find new people and have new breakout successes for new original IPs. All the movies cost so much money, they have to go with somebody who's already known. And there's very few young people in Hollywood at the moment.
This casting is awful. So Perfect Teen Titans cast doesn't exist. It says that someone's bro started watching movies 2 weeks ago. Timothy Chalamet is Dick Grayson. Heck no, no. Okay, the guy that they casted in the Teen Titans that they already did. Now that show wasn't good, but he was, I forget his name, but he was hot. Dick Grayson is supposed to be hot. Timothy
But this
Chalamet
is
is a femboy. No.
if
This is the
you're
casting, by the way, before the
if
chat goes up. This is just someone that was like, "Oh, let's cast these
well,
people."
the issue is the people that work in the industry, right? So you've got
That
a
too.
load of male makeup artists, men doing fashion. They're all going to love Timothy Chalamet because he's exactly their type. And so
He's a
he's the
femboy,
first person
yeah.
that springs to mind when they're like, I want a man in this. Like, well, Timothy Chalamet's really hot. But is he actually a man, right? Would he actually be a male hero? Or is he just an effeminate twink? That's what you've got. So he really appeals to a significant demographic in Hollywood. Just doesn't fit the role. But they're like, well, have you seen him with no top on, though? He's gorgeous. Like, that's not why you cast a superhero. And you get down to a point where
You see
you
the
have to
his,
cast people
his
that
jaw.
the audience sees as the role, not what Hollywood sees. But they're trying to force people into roles by picking who they think should be successful.
He might be a good actor, Mike, but he's not Dick Grayson. I'm a big Nightwing fan, and he's not hot enough. I'm
Look,
sorry.
I'm sure he'd make a great Mrs. Doubtfire, but that's his role.
Hey, don't bring Robin Williams into this. So out of all of these, like I do know people are tired of these casting, right? Jenna Ortega might be a
I
decent
like
Raven.
Jenna Ortega. I know
she
she
might
said
be a
some
decent
wacky
Raven.
stuff.
Yeah,
But
but
she's
as
also
an
done
actress,
really good stuff. Yeah.
yeah. But I think this is definitely a troll, like The Rock.
She also has a
He's out of the
stronger
team.
jawline than Timothy Chalamet.
She does. Yeah, no, she's the only one that I could see working, but she probably wouldn't do that. She does movies. I couldn't see her doing a Teen Titans. Well, it
I
was a
think
movie.
actors will do
I
anything
guess.
if you pay them enough money.
Yeah. So this before, like I said to the chat, it's not. This is not a casting. This is somebody that decided to put it together. I just love this. Bro started watching movies 2 weeks ago. True. It's gotta be
The guy that I like would
the Rock in there though. Like, come on, Teen Titans. He's like
um,
55. Calm down.
what was it? I think it was in Titans. It wasn't. I think it was the TV show Titans. I did like the Robin in that. He was a great actor and really fit the role well.
Yeah, Dick Grayson. That's what I was saying. He fit the role. He was very good looking. Dick Grayson is supposed to be a smoke
And he
show.
came across as vicious, right? I remember there was a scene in it where it started with the whole, oh, but I've gone across the line and I did something. That scene was amazing. Everything went dark and he just started like breaking bones. It's like, yes, I could believe he'd do that.
Yeah, it was good, but the show was not.
Especially compared to any superhero stuff now, I would take that series over any of the recent Marvel movies, including Endgame. So
Yeah, I don't disagree. It was good. So I hope we haven't completely lost DC like we have MCU. So we'll see. We'll get to that soon. We can't actually play because you said F&T got hit for playing the Superman trailer, but we'll go through stills and talk about it.
no,
they
said you'd get hit.
They said
so
you would get hit. Okay, yeah, Warner Brothers. They tend to get you with that. Let me get these super
Well, it's
chats and then
also
we'll move on.
just part of the movie. Apparently, it's the first 5 minutes of the movie, so it's understandable. they'd hit it.
Okay. All right. Oh, is okay. All right, then that does make sense. Gary Thomas, thank you for the 5. Speaking of code Geass, did I say that right?
Geass. Well, I say
Geass.
Geass. I'm not sure if it's pronounced right, but that's what I think somebody else told me it was.
Oh, gotcha. What did you think of the show, Disparu? I found that they had to say, found what they had to say about the democratic process towards the end very funny.
It was one of the first, I think it was the second anime that I watched properly. So I watched Death Note, then that. Because I was after something like Death Note. The first series, I was like, Second series, really enjoyed. Second series made it well worth watching. And, yeah, I'm not a fan of the democratic process as it is. So the idea of a guy going around, it's like, no, I know what's better for you. I think probably there's something English in me. It's like, king. I don't think we're really cut out for democratic processes as it is. So yeah, a guy coming along, it's like, no, I just know what's better, and I can prove it. I can overthrow your entire empire on my own, essentially, with my brain. That means I have a right to rule it. I think there is something about that, about the intelligent person, rather than whoever the people that watch daytime television think.
What, like the View people?
Yes. Look, in any system, go and ask the View, who do you want? Just go with the other one. I think you can make. I think if you went the exact opposite of everything the View prefers, you'd probably have a really satisfying, happy life, as opposed to turning out like them. I actually think there's quite a few people like that. If you just went the exact opposite, what is it? Is it Kramer? He does like financial analysis, and there are people that just do the opposite of everything he says, and he's always wrong 100% of the time. Some people are just exactly wrong on every single topic. He's the kind of guy who's like, well, Google, I don't think Google stock is gonna do well. And like, to the moon.
Market Reality, thank you for the 2. So Sweeney is being hired for her acting talent.
Both of them.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah. Like, what assets do you have? Oh.
Oh. Stephen De Leon, been a member for, I always to say it like that, fancy. Member for 11 months. Thank you. I know X-Ray is going to be in Vegas, but are the rest of y'all going to be there? Got my plane ticket. I'm just trying to find a good hotel nearby. I won't be in Vegas, but I was pointed the wrong way. This Peru will be. I can't even point the right way. Yes. Very, very sorry I'm going to miss it, but I know they're going to have a good time. Jason Webster, thank you for the Australian 5. My screen crush Ha Ji-won is highly trained in the Korean martial arts Sun Mudu, Hapkido, and Kumdu, Korean equivalent to Kendo, as well as Kendo.
I'm assuming it's Kumdo, then, not if it's Kendo.
I don't want to say that.
I am simply a world traveler.
If I
looking at the
very
foreigners' languages and trying to fit in with their culture.
He's established. I will get clipped if I say it.
There's a South.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
I don't know whether it's South Korea or Japan. One of them has a very, very common word that just sounds like they're dropping N-bombs. And there's many people go over there and they just hear it everywhere. And like, oh my god, there's people that called police on people. Like, what? I don't know what you mean. It's just a word. I can't believe you allow it. It's like, yeah. Other countries aren't like yours. They have different languages.
It's true. I mean, we said poof and you lost your mind, and we were talking about a hairstyle from the early.
Very, very funny. Well, the thing is, we would also kind of use it for hair and stuff. High context culture, a lot of it depends on what you're talking about. So, sort of the famous F food, which I can't even say on YouTube, whereas America has very defined rules. These people can say this word, but you can't. Whereas ours is like, it depends on the word. Depends on what you're saying.
Oh my gosh, sorry. Chat's being wild. W Rider for 2. Disparu's favorite band, My Chemical Romance.
It's what it is.
It's true.
What was something someone said it was a TV project where I don't get the fanny flutters. I'm like, oh no.
What does that mean? What's a fanny flutter?
Well, you have fanny packs over there, right? Over here, that means something entirely different.
Yeah,
so it just means the flutters. But that is essentially just a a chemical reaction. It's the same thing that the reason why hot people in movies sell tickets is because people feel nicer looking at attractive things as opposed to ugly or average things. So this is why a woman draping herself onto a car wearing next to nothing sells the car. It makes no sense when you think about it, but just you feel better and you associate that feeling, that good feeling, with the car. So you buy the car.
I mean, that's why all that soap sold. The Sasquatch, Sydney Sweeney's just sitting in a tub telling men to buy it, and they probably ran. Some of them
They
ran.
probably
This was
thought
like,
it was
okay,
made of a bathwater or something.
they're like, she touched it. I'm gonna go buy 10 right now.
Each bar was rubbed on myself. That's what she should have said.
Oh my gosh.
This is like on FNT yesterday. Gary was talking about the things that they can make in prison, and he was on about they make beer out of toilet water, and like, well, you know, because what is beer? It's just like this yeast and everything else. And I know too much about Twitch to not have asked the question, where did the yeast come from? Because I imagine there's loads of beer in the women's prisons.
Oh no!
Hey, there are multiple. There's a lot of Twitch streamers that have their own brands of beer.
Oh my god! Yeah, you're right. But that made my stomach hurt. Just the thought. Lance, thank you for the 5. Face it, Tiger. You just get a free medium pizza from Domino's with the purchase of a medium or better. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Lance. Ian Soforth for 50 pounds. Thank you, Ian. And Will Smith stepping out of the shower, random ranting.
He does. He does it all the time. I'm surprised in Men in Black. The only reason he probably Tommy Lee Jones, is it? He'd probably get jealous. He'd be like, no, if he's doing it, I'm doing it as well.
Oh,
like
yeah,
when they reset his brain, he just pops out with like flash. Will Smith will just walk down that he's like flash his ass randomly. I think he writes in his own contract.
He might be like, listen, I don't do these squats for nothing, okay?
I'm not being in this movie unless.
Yes, Jeff, you're right. I'm not hungry anymore. Thanks, Disparu. Yeah. If I ever need to get my appetite not,
to be fair, when I said where does the yeast come from, Gary did say bread. It just wasn't as entertaining as what the Twitch stars
what was going through your head.
Yanni beer. It's like people buy it. They have to restock. How do they restock? That's the question.
Gary Thomas, thank you for the 5. Personally, I think if Karen Gillan were a decade younger and wasn't already Nebula in the MCU, she would have been a great Mary Jane Watson. Yeah, I could see it. She's kind of tiny. Well, I don't know. Do they make her look that way? Hold on, let me look her up. Is she like voluptuous?
I think she's just a woman. Oh, you mean I meant height. You meant boobs.
I meant like because Mary Jane.
We thought that in different ways entirely.
Yeah, well, because Mary Jane here, I'll grab one of my comics. I have a few right here. I
remember the picture when they crossed the legs and stuff, and her arms are underneath her. And
they made her look very
This is an impossible pose for a human to do. And then that Star Wars girl just did it, and it was like, no, it isn't. Do you know anything about human anatomy?
Yeah, let's see. I think she's pretty.
Those were the good days of Twitter.
Yeah, I think she's too skinny. Like she's got the face, but like Mary Jane is supposed to be like thick.
She's not
still a better choice
shape.
than Zendaya because Zendaya doesn't have any of it. She's tiny. She doesn't have the look. She doesn't have the hair.
The thing that Karen does well is the seductress kind of storyline.
I don't disagree that she would do well. I just think, but I mean, Zendaya's too skinny too. She would be way better than Zendaya.
If you wanted someone to come along as sort of sensual, then Karen would be like great at that kind of thing. But she does it even in Doctor. I think she does it in Doctor Who and doesn't even try. There are scenes where she's actively trying, and then I have a feeling she's only as popular as she was because of the people found she was doing that anyway. There are some great scenes, like there's a YouTube video, the inside of the TARDIS gets stuck to the outside gets stuck to the inside, so it's a loop. So now there's 2 Karens, and they're just flirting with each other, and then her husband's in the room, and he's like, what happens if we can't fix it? Will there be 2 of them? And he's like, well, it's just me slaps around the face. I think that only happens because he looks up her skirt. That was the kind of Doctor Who we used to have, and now we've got Cutie Gatwa who wants to twerk on an enemy to kill him. How did we fall so far?
Oh my goodness.
He wanted to death drop.
I'm not into Doctor Who, but that just sounds. Not that it's bad. I should try watching
Don't
some
worry,
of the older
no one
stuff,
is
not the new
anymore.
one. Yeah. Mark Reality for 2 says Disparu. No on the Yeast origin story. Just no.
To be fair, we know where it originated. That's not under any doubt.
Ian for 50 pounds. Thank you, Ian. That's not how beer works. I mean, Amaranth has
think
her own
it
beer.
is.
Is that where your mind went when you think about Twitch girls that do it? Wasn't it Amaranth that started it?
Yeah, but I think there's a few now. But yeah, she wasn't even the first. This was a beer company that existed before, and they got in contact with other people, and it kind of spread.
That story with her, I don't think we even talked about it on Saucy. That was crazy. When I first seen it, like because she tweeted like I'm being robbed at gunpoint or whatever. I thought that it was a publicity stunt, but no, people got shot
It's
and
the most
arrested.
fake real robbery I've ever seen in my
It's
entire.
the most fake real robbery.
Everything about that seems fake and over the top. And the more you find out about it, the more fake it seems. They caught one of the robbers, but because he left his homework in her house.
No, he left out like a MacBook or something, I think. Or no,
I know it
not
said
a MacBook,
unfinished homework.
No, actually, what it was, is I actually just watched a full like deep dive on it not too long ago. Kind of a deep dive. It was a short video because the story itself
There's
there
not
wasn't too
to
much.
it.
Yeah. So not the MacBook. So he took her MacBook or her laptop, whatever, something, and
Please don't tell me he was doing his homework on her.
No. She did like find my device, and he was in the same hospital that she was in because he got shot. I know. I mean, they were, I think, like 18 and 19. They were kids, really dumb kids.
There was a 15-year-old that got caught because he left his homework at her house.
So it was 15. They were all very young. Yeah.
It was a 15-year-old. He was still in school, and he left his written homework at her house with the name at the top. That's how we got. If you're going to rob $20 million or whatever it was, literally tens of millions of dollars, don't take your name and address down.
You can tell that they were dumb.
Don't go straight from school.
They go there to try and get her bitcoins. Like, did they think that she just like had it on a card? Like, here's my Bitcoin.
Well,
like, what did they think was going to happen? They were young and dumb, but
it does actually raise concerns about crypto as a whole, because if it's in your bank, like, there are methods, because you're dealing with a third party, to stop you transferring all of your money. There are limits and stuff.
Yeah.
But with Bitcoin, it isn't. So
okay,
you are actually carrying, like, it's all, there is like a number and a password, etc., a key phrase, which you're supposed to remember anyway, or know where it is. So unless you keep that in a safety deposit box where you can't get at it, you are kind of carrying around all that money with you in your pocket at all times, because it's in your head. This is why there was a guy who said we shouldn't go to biometrics, because I would much rather get mugged and give someone my password than give them my eyeball, which is a very good point.
Very good point.
Like, if they're gonna mug you anyway, and if you don't have any other option,
yeah, it just the whole story was wild. But when you find out their ages, like it was like 15, 16, 17, yeah, and like so I mean, it's weird to say that she's smart. I mean, obviously she has some kind of savvy because she makes a lot of money, whatever. But her husband was in like, he had a man cave, little like man cave apartment, and she's on the phone with him because she thought it sounded like the door was getting knocked down, and then it does, and she's still on the phone with him.
Bolt cutters or something.
Yeah,
really
so
odd.
they bust in, and she's still on the phone with him, and then it's like he can hear what's going on a little bit, and I think eventually they get disconnected, and she takes them. She knows he has a gun, so she takes them. Okay, it's in here, and that's a video you see where she gets in here, and she's like running to the door, and he's at the top of the stairs, and he tells her, duck down, and then that's when he starts shooting, and that's when they like run, and it's so crazy. It seems like it was staged, like you said. This is the most like fake, real, weird. I thought it was staged until I actually, there was arrests made and people were actually shot.
If you've got a hostage, you walk around with your hand on the hostage. You're the one who's supposed to be in control of them, and they just let her run around her own house. Even if he wasn't there, she could be running to a gun in her own house that she knows where it is. So but she's just running multiple steps ahead, and they're turning around to wait for their friend at the door. Well, she's just run off. She could have run out the other side of the building or anything. They would.
That's how you know they were
one of the worst robberies I've ever seen.
That's how you know they were children. The one guy, I think, isn't going to be doing time. He was like the getaway driver. He was like, I think the oldest person was like 19. So they're all dumb teenagers. They're just like, we're going to just go steal her Bitcoin. Let's go. We're rich.
Oh,
Because he posted
I would have
about
put away
it.
for life, like all of them.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you go there to steal tens of millions of dollars of someone. You're never getting out. No, that would be justice. We know you've done it. We've proved you've done it. You're on
And they
video
hurt
doing
her.
it. No, you don't get out.
They pistol whipped her, which is why she was in the hospital. They hit her with the guns.
Well, even
and
just the action of trying to steal tens of millions of dollars should just be life in prison forever. So
exactly. But that was just so wild. I didn't know the homework thing, but the one, yeah, they stole her MacBook, laptop, whatever, because that's where her Bitcoin is. We got it, guys, run. So they get it, and he's in the one that got shot is in the same hospital that she's in, and she just Find My Device. Like, he's one floor under me. Like, what the heck?
How do you not know that all Macs have the Find My stuff in with GPS tracking? Like, seriously.
Her husband did. So she lured them to his, like, he had a man cave. I mean, they're rich, but it wasn't actually a man cave. It was a man apartment, separate on the property. And she's like, oh, it's in here. And he tells her, like, duck, or she like went against a wall or something. And then he started shooting. And I don't know how many of them got hit. I know at least one did. And then he started blasting. Yeah. But yeah. So they got nothing except time in jail, possibly for life. You're right. But that story was extremely wild.
I'm saying they should get life.
Yeah. Well, the one, like you said, he was 15. He's probably gonna get sent to juvie. I said the same thing, Dingus. I'm like, that's like kind of. It seems like it was staged because of that. Like, it's just like, can you just picture that? Like, duck, boom, and he just gets them, and she's just like, but she did get hurt. She got pistol whipped. Ow. Insane.
Well, yeah, there's a scene where they all break in and they do charge her room and whatever.
Yeah, and that's when she was on the phone with her husband, so he knew what was going on. So he immediately went to, get his gun and get ready.
But so much of it, like you said, at one point she tweeted out, "I'm getting robbed."
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you on Twitter then? It's like,
that's what I mean. Police. She did that.
Don't tweet about it.
I know. That's when people were like, "Is this for real?" I know. That's more Gen Z. Let's be real. Help! She's on TikTok live right now. Okay, so there's gunmen. Ian, they'll get given community service promoting her ESP.
Hey, she'd probably make more money that way.
She probably made a lot of money.
Get all your friends to buy it, all right? They're like, okay, we know something.
Yeah. Insane. Yeah, we didn't talk about that at all on this, but I recently watched that video and I was like, wow, so it was for real.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you know what it reminds me of? You remember Scary Movie? The first Scary Movie when she's getting attacked and she goes online to the 911 online and she's like, white woman in trouble. You remember that from the first Scary Movie?
It's been a long time since I've seen a Scary Movie.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think the only thing I remember of Scary Movie is like where she's running through the what is it, like the garden water sprayers, and she's kind of like shaking her hair like Baywatch as she's running through, and then he stabs her in her false chest and pulls out her the implant.
Yeah. So I think it was actually the video I watched. I'm pretty sure it was her husband that like went onto her account because they're like, oh, she has millions of followers, or whatever.
I don't know, because he said I, not we.
Well, I know, but he probably, because it's her, so he was like being her. I don't know. It's
no, I don't think if you're getting robbed, like armed robbery in your house, you have the wherewithal to think, I don't want to leak that I'm a husband tweeting for it.
And that's the thing too, that got leaked because of this, and they're like, and someone was like, now they can go on stream together. I'm like, happy ending. I don't know. So silly.
But also, that's probably a point with the reason why everyone thought it was fake is not just because it seemed fake, but because of where it's come before with her and her husband, where strongly seems that everything she said about him was a lie before, and it was all part of.
I wonder, is it the same guy? I wonder if it's the same guy, because wasn't it like he made her dress provocative? I know, like, did she get married again, or is it the same guy? Probably the same guy. It's all publicity. That's what I'm saying. Like, it made this whole thing look fake.
When you've got her amount of money, you do not want to remarry that fast. And because I gave away half my wealth and now I want to do it again. No, it's definitely the same guy.
True. All right, what do we have here? Oh, you sent this Tron article.
Well, it's more. There's a Tron trailer. Is why I sent that rather than the article itself.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Let me.
I don't know who makes Tron.
So we might not be able to see it. I'll just pull up the article then. Maybe that's better. just talk about it. So the Tron
Well,
movie.
I would pull up the video because you can show the pictures. There isn't actually that much in the trailer apart from the aesthetics of it. There is no stuff about the thing or anything. So we are mainly going off the visuals anyway. In this Tron Ares, they're basically bringing Tron to the real world. Looks like they've escaped. So it shows what's his face, the guy who was.
Tron is Disney. We should be fine then.
Oh, well, if it's Disney, yeah, you'll be fine.
I don't see a trailer though. You didn't post a trailer.
Okay,
you posted
I can find the trailer.
Thank you. Thank you.
But it's the guy who was he was in a recent superhero movie.
Jared Leto.
About the animals though. I forget his name. It was a specific superhero movie.
About the animals.
I forget his.
Let me look at the article and see.
Because in all I remember in the picture where people are showing him in Tron, he just looks like the same character. He looks exactly the same.
I got it. It was in the article.
I thought they'd show the trailer in the article somewhere.
Well, here, let's present it.
Because most of them do. But yeah, essentially Tron has escaped into the real world, and so now you have normal police and things coming for, like, Tron people. Who don't care.
Okay, well, let's see. This is the first trailer for Tron, right?
Yes, it came out today.
Okay. I haven't watched it yet.
120 miles per hour, last seen heading northbound. Unit 12, acknowledging dispatch. Already in pursuit.
Now, I had to look this up because I wasn't sure how it would work, because you're essentially dealing with a digital world. So things like that in a digital world, you're like, okay, it's a game, it's coded that way. But it does say that in the game, they're supposed to be a highly technologically advanced people, and so essentially they're just bringing that out to the real world. Because I was like, how on earth is he going to do that without magic, unless it's a video game? It's like, no. There's a supposedly scientific reason in the game why they...
I think so far this looks kind of cool.
Yes, but Tron always looks cool.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand.
The kind of horror movie vibes.
Who's that?
Ready? Because there's no going back.
And the thing is, yeah, that is a cool trailer. It looks like a cool movie. But that is all style. And so...
How many times have they pulled us in with a good trailer? And then the movie
I've always thought, if your trailer's awful, you need to fire everybody. Because you make 90 to 2 hours of a movie and you can't show me 60 seconds of it which looks entertaining, then you all need to be fired. So you should always have a good trailer. But especially when you're not telling me anything about the plot or the characters, you're just showing the aesthetic of the movie, which is what that was. Tron always has excelled in that.
I like that they're not giving too much away. I feel like this, at the very least, will be a fun movie to watch in theaters with the surround and the big screen. Like I miss movies like that just gave us good action and beautiful visuals and just like kind of hyped. I don't know if it's gonna be any good, but I'll probably check it out in theaters. The trailer was good. If they keep it, where they don't release too much of the story, that might actually intrigue people to go see it. Like, okay, this trailer was fire. No, maybe I'll go see it. But if they keep releasing, what?
I have a different view on trailers. I think trailers should give you the condensed version of at least the intro to the movie. When you go into the movie, you should know the setup. So you should know who the villains are, who they're going after. The entire point is that it gives you a condensed version so that you're not disappointed if you go and see it. And this is what trailers used to be when most films are at least average. Most films, you'd be entertained. So they don't have to be scared of showing you stuff. Whereas now, if they show you too much, you won't want to go because you'll know it's crap. So I don't like the... I'm fine with that as a teaser, but I think you should show more like, why are they in the real world? What have they got to stop? What's the stakes involved? I don't think that's unreasonable to show in a trailer. Oh no!
What?
The writer, Jesse Wiguto, is known for Daredevil, Born Again. That was the first right. There's several writers. That's the first one I looked at.
Forget everything I said.
There are 3, right? So there's Jack Thorne. We'll look at him next. Look, I'm just going off basic pattern recognition. I haven't even looked at this guy's what he's written.
No.
I'm not sure this is a heroic writer. Before I scroll down the...
Because of the way he looks?
Yes. He wrote National Treasure. Oh no, that's the wrong National Treasure.
Enola Holmes. Ooh,
Enola Holmes too.
I didn't watch it.
Adolescence. Anybody that knows anything about adolescence, this is not a guy you want writing a heroic movie. This is governmental propaganda, all right? Enola Holmes 2, his Dark Materials, it's kind of okay, the series. I have no real strong feelings either way with it. He wrote Enola Holmes 1, that's the second guy. Who was the third guy? So the first 2 not looking good.
Thread for 199.
This guy wrote Tron and Tron Legacy. So
no Bruce
the
B,
third
no
writer
Tron.
actually involved in both of them. Fair enough.
Like your
But he seems to really like Tron.
yeah, Who else? Who's the other one?
I forgot I can if I skip the where is it? Which tab is it? This one. So this guy actually involved with all the original stuff. So the third one, just hope.
Is he just a producer or is he a writer?
It's a writer.
Okay.
Tron Legacy, loads of other Tron stuff, the original Tron. So it's the third guy I'm hoping did all the work, and the second one's I hope sat in a room
and just watched.
and just watched him. Yeah, that's what
watched
I want.
Him, right?
Yeah. I am fine. Look, we know what Hollywood's like with the unions. They want lots of people who don't do any work, and I hope they got paid for nothing.
Yeah, Rip Tron, the last undamaged Disney product.
Well, they got the third writer involved. Now the question is, did the third writer do all the work, or did he do none of it, and they just wanted his name on the piece? Because people know he's originally linked to it. I don't want the writer of Adolescence doing a Tron movie, but that's me.
Yeah, you're right. They might have just added him on to get people that are going to do this research like you.
I think that's more likely. Yeah, because then well, it's like, do you remember Steven Spielberg was on every single movie ever made for like 5 years? Because they just wanted his name on it. It's from Steven Spielberg. Nothing to do with the movie.
I know. Didn't write anything about it. Yeah. Lexicon Hellhound for 2. Thank you. Tron 3 better have sirens like Gem in 2. So hot. Well, we'll see. What are you drinking? There's a rainbow on that.
No, it isn't. It's blood. It's not a rain. It's 2 colors. Focus.
Okay, well, it didn't look like my eyes almost just went cross because it got blurry. I just
every color in the rainbow, all 2 of them.
Well, it was
That's
far
the entire
away.
life
And
spectrum.
he's like, I would never drink out of a rainbow. Do you even know me?
Not unless it would.
Was that too spicy to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made myself laugh.
You tend to do that.
This is like, oh, well, you laugh at your own jokes. Things just appear in my head that I don't think of. And then I realize them about saying it as it happens. So yeah, I wrote something. It's a thing of like, if sunflower oil is made from sunflowers and olive oil is made from olives, what is baby oil made from?
Okay.
And that would be the same thing with a rainbow drink.
It's okay. Well, wait, what is this? Hold on. I don't even know what I just pulled up because we put so much in the group chat this week. I pulled up a decent amount of it.
Just scroll and pick topics. There's legitimately like 40
Topic
articles
roulette.
or something.
Just...
Yeah.
yeah.
This is why I was surprised when you picked the topics at the start. Like, there's so many better things than this.
Yeah, I know. I was like, let's get that stuff out of the way, but it did
Like, you haven't
segue
even
into
spoke about
some...
Minecraft yet. I thought you'd start with that one.
We'll get into that one in a minute. Let's watch this Thunderbolts
You can't
trailer.
have a go at me about rainbows. When that picture went, you've got a rainbow wall as our background.
I don't have a rainbow wall. It's
Yes,
purple.
it is.
It's purple.
Not purple. It's an entire rainbow. It changes color. Take a picture down. Can you show? There you go.
What? It's not.
It's a rainbow wall.
It's like water. It's supposed to look like water, like reflecting. It's blue. Disparu, put your glasses on, please. Hold on. Let me show
Hang
them.
on. Yeah.
Hold on.
What is that?
What?
No.
Chat.
This is such a woman moment. I'm talking about the background, and you're like, no, I need to go full screen myself. Not everything is about you, Wicked. I'm talking about the background.
What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about
the background.
Talking about.
It's like, no, obviously he's talking about me.
Say
Like,
the
I'm gonna
brick
full screen my own
wall.
face. That is such a woman moment.
I had to prove you wrong. That's what I had to do.
Well,
Say the
he
brick
could not be talking
wall.
about me.
Well, I'm a girl and I made that, so it's fine.
I'm talking about a wall of different colors.
I thought you were talking about my wall because it's colorful.
I even pointed to it. I'm like, no, it's all blue. I'm like, well, there's blue in it. There's also yellow. I'm like, well, if that's water to you, where's the water coming from?
Okay. All right, share screen. Let's go back to
It took me a long time to work out why you full screened yourself. I was like,
what are you talking about? It's just purple. All right. I told you guys. See? Hold on. I'm with Wicked. I thought he was talking about her wall too. Exactly.
What? I was saying the background. The background. Not your background, not my background.
Well, now I get it. Next time, be more specific. Say the brick wall.
The background. There's only one background.
All right. Thunderbolts trailer. Or teaser.
No, there is an interesting rumor that came out. It was, I think Gary mentioned it. Because I've heard other people say, why do the Thunderbolts have the asterisk next to them? And then someone said there's a rumor that they may not be called the Thunderbolts. And it makes sense when I thought back to the previous trailers. It also makes sense for this. So watch with this, with the idea that they may not be called Thunderbolts.
Okay, let's see. What is this? 45 seconds? All right.
There's some big threat out there.
Yes! Marvel Studios Thunderbolts. Only in theaters May 2nd.
Thunderbolts, asterisk. Is it the Thunderbolts? But all the trailers so far have been, there are no Avengers. We're not the Avengers. We don't do good things. We're not good people. But the world needs the Avengers. And I wouldn't be surprised if the movie ends with them going, well, we're not the... Because there was a whole trailer where they said, what are we called? And he's like, Thunderbolts. So, well, we can't be called the Thunderbolts. That's a stupid name. I would not be surprised if it ends with, we are Dark Avengers.
Dark Avengers, yes! That's why he's saying yes. He's like, I
don't even know who the Dark Avengers are. But the moment they said the rumor about the different name, it makes sense.
All right. Since Disparu was so excited.
My conspiracy theory brain is firing on all cylinders.
It's stupid name, to
yes,
be fair.
the Thunderbolts didn't land on the moon.
Market reality for 2 of the Avengers Junior Varsity Squad. Yeah. Thank you for the 2. It is a stupid name, Ian. I agree. Okay, so I didn't see Minecraft. I know it did well, with children, which
It's amazing.
Said that so the title when I wrote miss, I just mean like it wasn't really a good movie, but I knew it was gonna do well with like 10-year-olds. My niece and nephew who are older now, they loved Minecraft, and if this would have came out,
have you seen it?
No, I didn't see it. So I just know that people were complaining that it wasn't great, but I knew it was going to do well with children. Adults, probably not so much.
That's
so you
actually
did see
my
it,
biggest.
right?
It's my biggest issue with it. There was a lot. You know how children's shows often have jokes that are meant to go over the head of the children,
And it's for the adults.
for the parents to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work if they're really creepy.
So is that what this movie did.
There's
Creepy?
a lot of really creepy stuff in this movie. There's
Oh.
one where there's a song about you need to put on your birthday suit and blow your birthday horn.
What?
That's a song. That's a direct quote of a lyric in the song. To me, that only means one thing. And this is one of those things where, like, nobody else is talking about it. And I don't know whether I'm just a filthy degenerate taking things the wrong way. Because I am a filthy degenerate, but I don't know whether whether this is intentional. And then there's another bit where you've got... I keep thinking of Ricky Gervais. This is when you know you've drank too much, when you're thinking of the guy called Ricky Gervais. Like, no. Jack Black and Momoa, right? So they only have one wingsuit. There's a scene... I wonder if I can find the picture. I think if I find the... No, I can't actually show you the picture. Because it's in the cinemas. So there's a scene where they're on the jetpack, and at first, one's got wings behind him and he's flying, and Jack Black is sitting on him, holding his pigtails. Because you've seen what Momoa looks like. They've completely feminized him, put him in pink, really camp. There's a scene when he's younger where he's wearing lipstick and nail varnish. And Jack Black is riding him on his arse. And he says, can you move, please? And he goes, just let my hips guide you. It's the only way. The next thing, he falls over and they're like head to head, hanging underneath him. And they have to get through a tight hole. For some reason, yes, they have to fly into a hole together. For some reason, this means that they have to flip around. So there's a scene where Momoa goes up with his wings, so he's holding himself out. And then Jack Black's head goes between his crotch, and it just looks like... Everybody knows what it... You know what the picture is already. That's exactly what it is. And then they flip around, so now each other's head is in each other's crotch. They even do a joke where Momoa says to Jack Black, why does my beard smell like cheese? And I'm like, this is just a Red Dwarf smegma joke. That's all it is. But he's like, oh no, I always keep cheese in my pocket. I'm like, I'm sorry. And then there's a direct quote where Momoa says, there's still, with his Jack Black between his legs, there's still some space back there. You're going to have to fill it in. You're going to have to get tight. I'm going to push past your safety. It's just one long pissing metaphor. And I haven't heard anybody talk about it. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
No, you're just, the way you're describing it,
Russell T. Davies didn't do this in Doctor Who, boy.
That's pretty disturbing, especially because it's supposed to be a kids movie. Like, growing up, we had adult humor that would go over our heads, but it wasn't like that. It was...
Well, the thing, if it's like the Carry On movies, where there's some kind of innuendo between the man and the woman, whatever. But this is specifically one direction. There is none of this stuff for, like, husband and wife or anything that like the parents would consider wholesome, but the children wouldn't get. There's none of that. It is all between Momoa and Jack Black.
I can't believe they femmed him up so much.
Well, do you remember Fast and Furious?
The last one I watched was when they had that runway that it was never ending.
I bet I can fast. I think it was.
It's pretty lame.
What was the last movie? Was it 10?
9 or 10, I don't know.
Jason Momoa.
Here. Oh,
if I can find a picture of him. Oh god, there's so many.
But they did make a lot. They earned $57 million in the film's domestic opening day. That's
there's
nuts.
A specific photo that will sum up his role in... There you go. Like, this was Jason Momoa in Fast and Furious. I think this is just Jason Momoa coming out. Like, this is now multiple roles. This is why, before, I think X-Ray tweeted and she said now for deep was like, oh, the best bit of the movie was when he showed his arms. I'm like, I don't think you're his type. I think I stand more of a chance with Jason Momoa than X-Ray Girl does.
I don't think Jason Momoa's hot at all. I don't. He's not my type.
Well, I mean, his abs made Aquaman over $1 billion. So
Yeah, I
you're in
yeah.
the minority there.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's like ugly, but he's just I don't know, not my
Well,
personal type. But then again, I don't think that Henry Cavill's ugly or anything at all. But I'm not like a huge drooling over him fangirl either. So
well,
I
it's
guess I
his
am in the
muscles where I
minority
think most
there.
people go. It's the whole idea that he's big and muscular and therefore could beat the living crap out of my enemies. I think is the general attraction.
The male strength.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in this, they've done everything to remove that. He's humiliated the entire movie. There's even a scene where he's like, oh, I don't want because he's supposed to be a big gamer, right? There's lots of men in Hollywood who had wives. I didn't get offended. I was just more surprised. Everyone's always like, oh my god, he's so hot, so I just assume. But there's a scene where like he's supposed to be a gamer, so he should thrive in Minecraft, and yet he's the egotistical, I can do everything kind of guy who then gets humiliated and beaten and destroyed at every opportunity. There's even a point where he goes to fight someone, gets destroyed, and then music kicks in for the women, and they do their girl boss moment while he's dying. Very strange. But overall, the start is actually weirder. Everyone says the start is not everyone. The reviews say the start of the movie is the best because it's not in Minecraft. It goes downhill when it goes to Minecraft in the Minecraft movie. But there's all these scenes where basically everyone seems to be depressed. Like, well, I was this and I was doing this and then I got divorced and now I'm miserable and unhappy and sad all the time. And that's every character's introduction. Momoa's just bankrupt because the real world's horrible. It's a movie where the message seems to be the real world is awful, so people retreat to games, but you should actually just improve the real world. Except that message is only said in the last 5 seconds of the movie, and the rest of the movie contradicts it.
As far as
no,
go ahead, sorry.
As far as Minecraft's concerned, it is just, you remember this, don't you? Oh, well, there's now this in Minecraft. Oh, these wings were in Minecraft. Well, this is a reference to Minecraft. So you've got all these references, but when because Rags seemed to be massively into Minecraft, way more than I ever have been. I only played it in VR for a bit, because it seemed
I
like
played
a
it a
cool
couple
VR
of
game.
times, but not really.
Yeah, but Rags seemed to be, I've played this for years, kind of level of knowledge. And he hated it. And so I do wonder who this is for, because massively successful, but it may just be for the younger, lol, so random, I recognize that kind of thing, rather than older fans of Minecraft. I don't think it's a Minecraft movie. It's just a...
I think if they would have made it more like animated, like went to Super Mario, like the Mario Brothers route that they did, it might have hit more with people our age and, the older Minecraft. Maybe not, but it might have, because they see this and they see Jack Black and like, why isn't Steve Square? Like, well, what is up with this, right? Because there was even, older teenagers that were like, I'm not interested in it. What?
There's a joke where they go to the villain and she goes to Jack Black. How in a world so square are you so round? And then she calls him the roundling for the rest of the movie. Like, he is fat.
He is pretty. It's so funny though, like the toy. Let me bring it up. There's no way that Minecraft Steve toy is gonna sell.
No, but it is real.
I know it is.
I think it might sell now. No, there's been so much. There's nobody, like, loads of people say, oh, it's going to be successful, but it's broken all projections. And I kind of understand why projections are going off, like, pre-sales of tickets. Parents and kids are very unlikely to book their tickets miles in advance, so they just turn up. And I understand it's the best-selling game, etc. But there are that now people seem to be liking the movie.
Yeah,
it ain't me, but it seems to.
But like, what kid is going to be like, please give me that fat man? I want the overweight Steve. I mean, some kids might like. I could see like younger boys think it's funny and they have it and it's just like silly. But I can't see like collectors actually wanting this. Does this say that this is $94? There's no way. Is there more than one Steve toy? This is not $94.
It could be that it's $94 now because the rest have sold out.
Oh,
That's a
okay. It could be somebody.
possibility.
It could be somebody reselling it over on Amazon,
Yes,
like that bought
that's the
it.
thing.
Okay.
But that's also a sign that it
Out
is
of
that
s-
popular
It's so.
that
Oh my gosh.
the market has boosted
Oh
its
yeah.
price.
I'm sure little girls like give me that toy.
Well, the thing is, the entire movie itself feels like a parody of a Minecraft movie.
It
It
says
feels
out
like
of stock on a lot of these, and
yeah, because
Mattel
the movie is that it's massively
popular.
successful.
Yeah.
Like I don't like, but you can't
Okay.
deny it's. I think it said that it's the biggest opening day of a game conversion in cinema. So you know you can't deny its success. But I do think that comes from the name more than anything else.
Yeah.
The issue you've got is the movie feels like a parody of a Minecraft movie. So it feels like we live in a world where there's been 5 Minecraft movies. They've all been massively successful. They've dominated the culture. And this is the thing designed to deconstruct it that took the piss out of the other movies. But what I think it is the creators got told to make a Minecraft movie, but they really wanted to make something else. So they just were like, I don't. Nobody cares about Minecraft, and they just project their own feelings into it. That makes sense until I see the reactions of people in cinemas, and they're actually enjoying the reveals.
Oh.
You can't really argue with audience reaction. I can only at that point be like, well, you're children. You just like, oh my god, he referenced something I like. It's
Yeah.
the only, because there's nothing good about this movie at all. But from that, I could understand them being like, well, Steve's in it. Yeah, fat Steve, you know, fat ugly Steve. Any fat. That seems to be the only attraction of the character.
Yeah, it's kids that like this, right? And I had a feeling that it was gonna do well. Especially because this year, not many good movies have gone out. So this is a movie that people are going to go to as like a family movie, right? There's going to be a little boy in the family that really likes Minecraft, or a little girl that want to see
Lady
it. They're all
Gravemaster.
going to bring their kids to go see it. And they're like, we haven't gone to the movies in a while. Let's go see this. So I'm not sure. We'll see what happens next week. I feel like there is more than likely going to be a drop, but maybe not. Maybe the first couple weeks will do well, but it's not. I mean, it already beat Snow White, right?
Well, yeah, but that's not hard. I think
'Cause I
I could
mean,
film my
little
own
girls
arsehole
weren't-
and like beat Snow White.
Little girls weren't
it-
excited about Snow White because it looked horrible. And I think even when I was a little girl, if that would have came out when I was like 10, I wouldn't have been like excited to go see it because it looked so blah. So I mean, lucky for me,
Well,
when I was a
the
little girl,
thing
they
is
weren't
with
doing this
Snow
live
White-
action crap. So
With Snow White, there was a lot of marketing pre that which pissed off the parents of the children. So
Yeah.
it crapped on Snow White, which is the reason the parents like Snow White,
mhm.
and so they didn't want their children to go and see something that was against what they'd seen. With this, the parents don't know anything about Minecraft. They know their kids want to see Minecraft.
So like, yeah,
And
whatever,
so-
looks fine.
They get bullied. Yeah, like when I saw Lady Gravemaster would take her kids to see Minecraft, like, well, it's game over, right? If somebody as knowledgeable of what hero like Hollywood does to kids is still going, look, they really want to see it. They're really into this kind of stuff.
So we're gonna
take
go.
them." And
Yeah.
I'm going to see a different movie. She went to see what's it called? A Working Man again. The moment
Hey, I
that
want to
happens,
see that.
oh, have you not seen Working Man? A Working Man's good. Yeah.
Mm-mm. I haven't seen
I
Beekeeper
don't think
either.
it's as good as Beekeeper.
Okay.
But it's still a good movie. If you like Jason Statham movies, you'll like this. It's just
Yeah.
another Jason Statham movie. You always
Okay.
know what you're going to get with him. That's why I liked Tom Cruise movies, because they're generally of a certain quality. They're all kind of similar styles of things. Is recent ones anyway. And so he doesn't tend to do bad movies. Jason Statham's the same. If you like action movies, Jason Statham action movies are all.
Yeah, I heard Beekeeper was. I'm mad because I think Beekeeper came out when I was actually in visiting family, and I could have gone with had like a family thing with my mom and stuff, and I'm sad that I didn't do it. Next time
Yeah,
Jason comes out with a movie and I'm back in my hometown, I'm going to see it.
Beekeeper has an entire side storyline which shouldn't be there and should be cut, and it would be a better movie. If you only had the Jason Statham scenes in Beekeeper, it'd be an incredible movie.
Okay.
I
I'll
only
add to
mark
the
it down
list.
because of people that aren't him. And in this, the reason why I don't think it's as good as Beekeeper is just there's a lot of repetition. So in A Working Man, they go to various different criminal meetings, but they do it
Mhm.
4 or 5 times. So you're repeating the same kind of beats over and over and over again. But I think it ends really strong. And even then, you can tell, as it's an Amazon movie, you can tell where the Jennifer Sulky types went, no, you've got to have this. We can't have a movie without this. And it doesn't fit in the rest of the movie. And the entire storyline of that character relies on 2 seconds of showing one trophy. And they just scan past it. But if you miss that, it's like, this is ridiculous. So, yeah, and both the ones, it's almost like they wanted to make a movie, and then someone else went, you've got to have these things, and so they just shoved them to the margins, but had to have them in the movie to get it made, which is understandable.
I'm adding it to the list. Jason Webster, thank you for the Australian too. Coming soon from Marvel, Thunder Farts. Just for giggle. It's like
Asterisk.
a dad title.
Like, well, maybe it'll be the Dark Avenger Farts.
Sounds awful. Ian, thank you for that 50 pounds. Another 50. Yakov Smirnoff voice in Minecraft. Khaleesi takes you.
Yeah. There's
Just
so
for
many...
his face. Yeah.
That's the thing with Minecraft. There's so many problems with it. The characters are awful. The plot is awful. The script is awful. It feels like they're taking the piss out of Minecraft, and then you look at the audience, and they love it. And they're, well... You reach a point where it's like, well, you know, I can have my opinion of the criticism, but if it's successful,
They're going to
it
keep
doesn't really
doing
matter,
it.
does it?
Yeah. You know what my thing is? We grew up with really, like, the animated films, like Disney back in the 90s. It was well written, and, you know, it was written for families. And now that they say, you know, movies like this, well, it was made for kids when adults criticize it. But, you know, they used to make movies for families. But
How old
the
is
thing is,
Minecraft?
if it is just made for kids, I've said this before, so sorry for repeating myself, chat. But if it's made for kids, kids deserve good movies still. So kids growing up with these mediocre movies and enjoying them, they're going to become adults that enjoy mediocre movies. So
No, I don't think that's true. I put this at the end of my video review that I did today, that this may entertain kids now, right, that like Minecraft, but
Mhm.
you don't want... The movie feels as if they got an IP they didn't want to make. They wanted to make a real film. And if you watch the studio, it actually... This is their critique of Hollywood. They want to make real films, but they're made to make IP pieces. So they don't take them seriously, because they don't see them as important. This feels as if they took the Minecraft IP and burnt it. So they thought it'd get people into the cinema anyway. They didn't really try, care, or think about it. They didn't think long term. They just thought, this will make money anyway because it's Minecraft. But now it's successful. You've got to make a second one. But you've already destroyed it, right? You made a crap product. And now those people are going to grow up, and they will have better standards because they won't be kids for the next one, or they won't be kids for the third one. And you essentially burned what could have been a multiple IP because you didn't take the first one seriously. And so yeah, even if this pleases 9-year-olds, takes 4 years or what, like 3 years to get a second one out, another 3 years to get a third one out. By the third one, those people have grown up, they have better standards. Your third one fails.
I mean, look at Inside Out. How many years apart was I actually didn't see the second one yet. But the first one did really well, and apparently they did a good job with the second one too. So it seems like they did what you were just suggesting. They went with their audience, which is the right way to go. And that's a fair point. Things that I liked as a kid now, like I'll rewatch now, and I'm like, I thought that was hilarious when I was 8, and now you know what
It's
I
like
mean.
Jack
So
Black.
yeah, exactly.
I raised Beast Wars. Like Beast Wars was great when I was a kid. It's great now. I rewatched it when I was like, actually probably quite a while ago now, but I was probably like 30 when I rewatched it, and I still liked it. In fact, I appreciated the themes more as a 30-year-old than I did as a kid. Whereas in this, you will grow out of it because there's nothing there. And you can tell that by like Rags. The older fans of Minecraft don't like it. So these people will definitely grow out of it. They won't be as easily pleased just by seeing things. And even the kids, I don't think would be as easily pleased of seeing things in a second one. And it does seem like they saw the Minecraft IP as a joke. So the entire movie is just a joke. It's a parody of Minecraft. Now you've got to make a sequel. I don't know how you do that again. And as those people age, they will see it for what it is, and I don't think it'll age very well. It certainly won't turn into a long IP. And so I don't think this is a long-term strategy, even if the brand IP did carry it in this specific term. But there was one of the things of having something like Minecraft, it is the creativity, is exploring the world, it's finding out the recipes and stuff. It's your experience in the world that makes it a good game for you. And in this, they arrive and Jack Black just starts telling them everything. It was like if you've ever played a game.
Does he explain like the rules
Everything.
of the world?
Like he's already there, right?
I hate when movies do that instead of showing us and they just have someone explain it. I hate that.
Well, it's not like he shows them, but yeah, it's lots of said. But the problem is one of the things about Minecraft, why it's good, is people go in, they explore the world, they find things in the open world, and they make their own stuff. So it's their personal story in the world that makes the game for them. Whereas in this, it's stripped away because he leads them. And it's like, if anyone's ever played an MMO where you've joined late and you've got a friend who's max level, and they're like, well, the game really starts at endgame, and they just boost you through the entire game. It's awful. Because you're sitting there getting boosted through content, and you're not doing anything where they're just dominating everything around you. Yeah. And that's how the movie feels. And it's almost like the better movie would have been when Jack Black arrived, because he's already got all the end game stuff. He knows all like where to go for everything. He knows the content. He's already built up things like mining paths and everything. He's dug holes through everywhere. Everything is set up for them. I want to see his movie. Start with his movie where he falls into the world and gets all of this endgame item, builds all of this equipment, builds the houses and the villages and everything. That would be the exploration that you would expect of a first movie, and instead it's like just going to tell you all the recipes.
I hate that.
He's going to cheat, essentially. Takes all of the fun out of a game, because it's like playing a game with a guide, as opposed to just walking in there and finding your own path through it kind of thing.
Yeah, that's not, they could have really done something with this. Like you said, they could have made something that aged with its audience, or, made something that the older generation that grew up playing Minecraft would enjoy. Like Mario. People loved Mario. I loved Mario. I grew up playing Mario. My mom loved Mario. That was a movie that generations of people liked because it was done properly. They did fan service with that one. And they missed the mark, I guess, here. I'm not going to... Minecraft when it goes on like streaming just to check it out, but I wasn't really a big Minecraft person anyway. I played a little bit. Like I said, my niece and nephew loved it. So I don't know. Hi, Dan.
Well, I can even...
You didn't say hi to me. I just noticed it just as good. You know what? Take that down. Thanks, Dan.
What a Chad. But it's like I can even work out what the people will be like. Well, you're moving the goalposts. That now it's not a successful movie, now it's a successful series. It's like, no, this isn't the point. My point is that Hollywood is terrible at business. And if you want a business, you do need... I'm not against sequels. I will have John Wick movies until the end of time. I want to see John Wick in an old people's home beating up people in a Zimmer frame. That would be my ideal world. I want every John Wick movie you can throw at me. So I'm not against that kind of stuff. But it is a case of... You seem to be IPs like Minecraft are not common. This most best-selling game, you only get that once. And it's the same thing in Lord of the Rings with Amazon. You have to make this stuff last. You have to think long-term. But it seems like, well, we don't care. They'll turn up anyway. And so we just... You can feel the attitude that the creators have towards Minecraft. That like, oh, it's only a game. Who cares? And that's the entire movie.
When, Dan? I need receipts.
To be fair, I probably made fun of Poop Gang at some point. If I didn't say it, I thought it.
Well, now he's going to take it back as high to you.
Yeah. Well, it was just because Drunk 3PO was in the chat, and so him crapping himself was funny. But that's not because of it's Poop Gang. That's just because making somebody crap themselves constantly is funny. Oh, no, it was you crapping yourself. That was even better. Yeah, his voice made you crap yourself. That was the funny thing. Not that there's a gang of you that go around robbing banks.
No. Dan made a poop gang. There's a gang.
Look, I mean, if he wants to act like a random monkey throwing his stuff at people, that's up to him.
Well, I don't think that's what they do, but see, he's recruiting.
I've seen him post that on Twitter a lot.
That's what I mean.
I fallen out with you because you refused to join. Like, he's going to go around and rob a bank. All the CCTV cameras will be, like, blocked up because he just throws it at things. He's going to have a very, like, fiber-heavy diet, otherwise he'll run out of ammunition. I don't know if you've ever seen Money Heist, But Money Heist is
Mm-mm.
where they rob a bank for, I think it's 2 seasons. It's really good. The second one's even the second bank robbery. So season 3 and 4, it's even better. It might be 3, 4, and 5 actually. Is even better than the first one. But in that, one of those episodes, if Dan ran it, would just be, I'm running out of ammunition. I'm gonna desperately need to eat some Weetabix.
I heard that the Money Heist was good. I should check that out.
Yeah,
eventually.
Berlin, awful. Don't watch the spin-off is crap. It has one line about essentially replacing estrogen with nitroglycerin. I just can't remember the exact line. But the rest of the series is just a romance or something. It's really bizarre. But Money Heist, the series, well worth watching.
Okay. I'll add that to the list. Ian raises a very good point here, and I agree very much. Thank you for the 50 pounds. Kids deserve quality storytelling as much, maybe even more, than adults. Their brains are developing little sponges. Beyond economics, they deserve to be given something that stimulates growth and curiosity. Exactly.
Well, yes,
I
but
agree.
I'm not sure they disagree. It's not so much about the disagreement with the people isn't that they think kids should be given a message, it's what the message is. And so in this movie, no one's heroic. If anything, everyone's been stripped of being heroic, because part of being heroic is to learn, self-improve, and then sacrifice something. And nobody does in this. Nobody learns anything because they already know the recipes. No one sacrifices anything except him giving up his dog, like his wolf, for no reason whatsoever to a person he met 5 minutes ago, which just seems like animal cruelty. Most of the message for this seems to be, well, I mean, Jason Momoa, he wears lipstick and nail varnish. He gets into a romance with Jack Black. That seems to be the only real message of the movie. It's so strange. So I don't think people disagree that kids need a message. It's what the message is.
Yeah, no, it needs. Yeah, I don't
no,
agree with the message. No, I'm sorry. I had like a little argument in my head about it. Like I agree with that.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, no, okay.
Well, the worst is if someone asks me a question.
We disagree with the message that they're trying to push. We want a better message, but well, I say we as me and you and probably the majority of our chat want a better message pushed onto kids, and they want to push their own message, which is not a good one. That's what I meant. But yeah, no.
But when you're about you argue, like if someone asks me a question, sometimes I'll just receive a wall of text back, and it contradicts itself. But that's because I'm arguing with myself in the message, and then the conclusion's just at the end. I don't think people are used to it.
Clyde dashing for 5. Jack enters Minecraft, learns to be the hero, returns to the real world, is able to apply his newfound self-respect to the real world, and cut.
Jack would have been a better main character. Yeah, his original. I didn't say it. Yeah, his original story would have been the better because you get the exploration, which is what Minecraft's about. It's about discovering the world of Minecraft. Whereas in this, it is just a guy telling them everything. He's already got all the end game items, and then you've got some random kid who just this is a crafting table, and could just invent things for no reason whatsoever. There is no growth, self-improvement. There is no self-sacrifice. It is Captain Marvel, but for every character, except Jason Momoa, who's just there to be humiliated. Everybody else is just instantly amazing. They only need to be told how amazing they are by Jack Black, and then they realize they had the power all along inside themselves, and then they save the world.
Sounds pretty lame. Sounds gay. Sundowners Club with 100.
Jason Momoa, yeah. I'm convinced.
I'm convinced. Thank you so much for the 100. Oh my gosh. Showing some support for Wicked. Thank you so much. Here, what do we got here?
Oh my yes, God. Queen.
Yes.
You do realize when someone says showing some support for Wicked, you should probably have a clip of yourself.
I don't have a clip of me.
Yes, that's a problem, isn't it?
Here we go. I'll add a clip. I'll add a clip. Here.
Aww.
It's my arm. Thank you so much.
Say that, even that's a clip of Batman.
It's my arm. I will.
An X-ray seems to accidentally be in every clip, no matter what. So
it's true. Thank you so much. I will. This was right. I'll get some more clips up here. I'm sure Mongoose has clipped some pretty funny stuff that I could pop up there. But thank you so much. And Market Reality for 2 Money Heist was amazing. All
It
right,
is
yeah,
really good.
I've heard
Yeah.
good
I think
good
it's
things.
Spanish. And it took me a couple of runs to get into it. I think I watched the first 2 episodes once, and I was like, and then I tried again, still wasn't sure. But by the time I watched it again, I got used to reading subs and dubs and that kind of stuff. It was way better. And once you get a few episodes, you get hooked. It is very good at ending episodes on a cliffhanger. You're like, oh my god, I need to know what happens next.
Mongoose can look in his library, put it in Discord. Thanks. He's our clip guy. Antoine
I
Haynes,
like how
remember
it's like he's got a blackmail folder of everybody.
he might. There's probably a lot of clips of you.
He's actually like manipulating world governments. It's like, no, I have the clips of everybody.
I gotta save the gif of you going, hey.
That is not the first time I have shimmied on stream. I'm sure it is.
I'm sure it isn't either. When you had that progressive whiskey, you probably shimmied quite a bit.
No, I don't even think it required that. It was...
Antoine Hayes has been a member for 1 month. Thank you. Question for you both. What game has made the biggest impact on the way you view gaming? Going to Level Up in Vegas, anyone else? So I will not be in Vegas. It's probably a bar, I'm guessing.
Well, no, that sounds more like a gaming convention, but I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
I am way too far from Vegas to keep going back to Vegas. I know a lot of people go regularly, but that would never be me.
A game that has the biggest impact on how I view gaming. The games that I like are it's kind of a wide variety, but I'm gonna go with the Red Dead games because visually they were beautiful. The story was amazing. So yeah, I would have to go with Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. Just wonderful games that we probably I don't think we're gonna get anything that great from Rockstar again. I would love to see, because that's a franchise they could have continued. I would love to have seen Red Dead Redemption 3 they could even just completely step away from John Marston and Arthur Morgan and give us a whole nother story and just make it Old West, or like have it continue in the years and go forward like after, the Western times and just keep going. They could have done that. They still might. I don't see it happening, but if they do it, I don't see it being anywhere near as good as Red Dead 1 or 2 because the writing won't be there because Rockstar is just crap these days. What about you, Disparu?
For me, it comes down to different points in time about what was kind of the best of everything. So I started with Quake 3, one of the best FPS. Urban Terror was a mod for Quake 3. That's what made me really fall in love with mods. And I'm like, probably the perfect FPS that I don't think has ever been replicated or even come close to, even in movement or aiming or even just general game balancing, even map design. But then you get down to things where I started playing PC before multi-platform. And so you have Morrowind and Deus Ex. And then you have the sequels to those, which destroyed the games. So Oblivion and Deus Ex 2 stripped any kind of depth out of the games. And I think those would be... I'm like, okay, we need single platform. PC needs its own games. Console needs its own games because they have different audiences. You cannot mix them. And after that, you probably get into things like Fortnite and Warzone, which taught me that you can't balance FPS with them because of things like aim assist. It's not that there's a perfect level. It's like, no, you cannot have controller and mouse players in the same lobbies together. It just doesn't work. And you do need to separate these people, otherwise no one has fun. And so it really depends on what you're particularly asking. I don't think there is one thing that impacted my view.
Yeah, it's hard to pick just one, so just pick one of your favorite games.
Well, no, because it's not about biggest. It's like biggest impact on my view of game. Well, my view on gaming it's kind of been about the problems of gaming and like how it's going in the wrong direction. So it depends on the different aspects. But those are the different aspects that I think have gone wrong overall. Because my favorites wouldn't be any of those. I did really like Morrowind. Like I said, some of them are the best games. But nowadays, my favorite games are just ones which are PC only, like RimWorld, that you just can't get on console. It doesn't work. So,
yeah,
or 4X strategy games.
I
So
think
it's a bit of a broad question.
Yeah, it is. I think so. Thank you, Antoine. That's a good question. I think that weirdly, the game that made me notice what you had just said about separating PC from console was Dead by Daylight. Because when I originally started playing Dead by Daylight, it wasn't cross-play. And it was a very different game than it is now. And now, if you want to do the test server, like a week or a couple weeks before they drop a new chapter, you can play the test build, the public test build. But that's only for PC, and it is much harder. You go in there
Yeah.
and they just wreck you.
That is
When
one
the-
thing that I don't think people really appreciate is that PC players, even without like the controller versus mouse and everything, they think differently, they plan differently. They in Overwatch, right? Same game, PC, joining ranked in both sides. There is entirely different games between EU ranked in Overwatch and American ranked in Overwatch.
Mhm.
The EU players aim better. The US players play as a team better.
Mhm.
And all of this changes the game entirely. And I think the teamwork comes from not just how Americans are, they're more social in general, but because you're used to one language, everyone speaks English. So of course you got used to working together better than 15 different languages across Europe. There's that many differences that you can't balance it as a game developer. You have to niche down if you want things to be the most fun. And I think, yeah, input-based matchmaking is... FPS is my favorite genre. I just can't play it now because it's just controllers aimbotting everybody.
I do really
I don't
enjoy
find that fun.
first-person shooters, but I can't get into certain ones. Like I play Fortnite sometimes with Jay, and it's like I do try my best, but sometimes it's hard for me to take Fortnite seriously. But to be fair, I never got into Call of Duty either. I prefer shooter games like Left 4 Dead, stuff like that. It's to me that's just more fun. That's just
Ironically, with the skill-based matchmaking in Fortnite, that means you're the perfect person to play with in Fortnite. Like,
yeah, because
the
I'm
best
low
games in
level.
Fortnite I've ever had were with like X-Ray Girl and Togs. They'd never played it before. They were the worst players in the world, and so I just go around and slaughter everybody. Incredible.
We should get Disparu on a Fortnite. Jay's probably like, nope, he's gonna yell at me. But didn't he like block the door or something?
Yes. Yes. I walked in. Look, when you peek a court, what does peek mean? Peek means you look around and you go back. So you need room to move. He's standing behind me. So I went into a room, went back for cover, and he's pissing there. So he got me killed. And you're like, well, I killed him. Yeah, because I went in to fight him, but I could have soloed him. Like, there was 2 doors. Go around the other side and flank the guy. It's such basic military strategy. No, I'm going to
really
climb up
funny.
Disparu's arse.
Yeah.
Unreal Tournament was amazing. Yeah, Quake 3 and Unreal Tournament, and Unreal Tournament 2004. I played a lot. I don't think you beat those as FPS. And I don't think we'll ever have those FPSs back ever. Just because now, if people aren't good at the game, they don't spend 500 hours learning it, being at the bottom of the scoreboard. They just, I'm going to... They never done that.
I have not played Red Dead Revolver, but I would like to. I think I may have had someone gifted me years ago a copy of it, but I never played it. I would like to though. Wicked as crap at Fortnite. Thanks. I'm okay with that.
That's what I mean about the perfect person to play Fortnite with. Be hilarious.
I'm okay with it. I don't play. I've probably played it a total of like 6 or 7 times in my whole life because I used to be strongly against it, and it's not that I even like it now. I just like having other games to play with my friends. And a lot of them play Fortnite, so I'm like, okay. And it's like I try to take it seriously, and like I do, but I'm just like, it's just not my type of shooter game. So, but I'm okay with it.
What is your type of like?
I
Are you into any multiplayer type shooter game?
I do like I said, like Left 4 Dead, that style. That's just like what I can come to as an example.
Oh, that's co-op. Multiplayer
Yeah.
tends to be versus humans, though. Like Left 4 Dead is amazing, though. I did great game.
Weirdly, I tried to, and I wish I would have kept up with it. I had friends that were really into Counter-Strike. I know that is so hard, but I got
I'm not into Counter-Strike.
I got into
The
it
idea
for a
you
little
can't move
while.
when you shoot, I'm like, no.
Oh, well, that I did get into that one, but it's way too advanced for me, especially now. But like years ago, I want to say like maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, I got into it and I was having a good time playing it with friends for a bit, but then I just kind of stopped playing it.
Yeah, there's stuff like Marvel Rivals now where chat can enjoy the thighs of the character you're playing. You seen the new character they've added to Marvel Rivals?
The
They
the
very
twerking
quickly
one.
very quickly realized what people liked about the characters and just went all.
All right, didn't they add twerking Venom or something? Was it Venom?
There was, but that's not what I'm thinking of.
I don't know if that was a new addition.
That's an emote, but there's Emma Frost. That's the one.
Oh, okay. So was Emma Awuga. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pulling up a picture, guys. His
Well,
serious
I'm trying to
face.
find a video which has it. The problem.
Well,
all these pissing things have like video ads and stuff, and like I just want a video of the character. I can oh, Tim the Tapman posted it. No, someone did. Carry on. I'll.
Okay. Well, let me see what else I have because I don't want to pull up the next topic yet until we're off the video game topic because we tend to digress and bounce back and forth a bit. Warren says thick thighs.
Jesus.
What? What? What did you just find? His face.
I found firstly, I scrolled. I was like, Rule 34.
Did you
Emma
scroll
Frost.
too much?
And then the next picture is a woman snapping a pineapple in half with her thighs.
Oh, well, is it stream safe? I mean, obviously people stream the game.
The thighs, yes. The one above it, no. It's like, this is the.
Here we go. Now I'm scared. Oh,
hang on,
oh,
hang
she's
on.
all thigh.
I need to watch the entire video, don't I? Because otherwise,
you probably should, because it could be edited into something.
People could cut into it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the
Ian says that's just his screensaver.
Yeah.
She's all thigh.
I suddenly realized people can edit videos.
He's just realized how the internet works.
I mean, this is someone called Marvel Rivals News, so I'm assuming. Well, I'm not assuming now because I know.
Oh, you shared it. Sorry.
Yeah. It's just thighs.
She's all thigh. Of course, that must be why. And this game is doing very well, isn't it?
Yep. Very well. They dominated Overwatch because Overwatch started putting in the ugliest characters you could possibly imagine on the face of the planet and making them NB. Like, well, there you go.
All right.
This is in business. You try lots of things and then you double down on what works. In entertainment in the West, it seems to be we try lots of things and then whatever anyone hates, we double down on.
It's just too much. She's all thigh. Like that's.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to share sound because we're not going to actually watch this trailer because it's Warner Brothers and the first 5 minutes of the movie, but we'll stop at a couple stills. I'm going to get Disparu's thoughts on this. I actually just watched it today, so it was kind of fresh. This is, now we don't know what's going on.
I can sum up my thoughts in one word.
What?
Why?
Why?
All 5 minutes, I'm like, why?
So
this is the start of the movie. So
yeah.
Notice, see the white line at the bottom there? How far, like 1 minute 30 out of almost 5 minutes, how far Wicked had to switch into the movie before anything happened?
Yeah, so it's a minute 36 of him being in pain.
Well, I mean, most of that, at least the first minute, is just hills. It's all landscapes and stuff.
That's true. Here, let me...
Slowly zooming in. So you've got like hill, there's some landscape, 12 seconds, 18 seconds.
So it takes 20 seconds just to get to him.
Yes, and then there's a slow zoom in on him. So 35, still nothing's happened. A minute in, the dog appears, and then it jumps over him for a bit and jumps on him.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that's how Crypto was, like, in the,
Yeah, but 2 minutes in, he finally starts dragging Superman back to the base.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so we are now over half of your 5 minutes that you've shown was filler. I would cut this. All of it. This should not be the intro to a movie. A hill, a guy lying on the floor, and a dog dragging him across the floor. Why?
Yeah,
Now, these robots are even worse because they're acting like he's a celebrity. And they're like, oh my god, it's Superman.
He looks at me.
It's not Superman. Yeah. It's Superman, folks. Like, these are Kryptonian robots. Kryptonians are not special. They're just people. They're only special when they come to Earth. So this is just like any other Kryptonian they've ever met in their entire lives. Oh my god, it's Superman.
That Sundowners Club raises a good point that Cornsweat worked out for 8 months to put a loose suit on him doesn't look right. I don't understand why they made the suit like this. Like why
I
they
want
didn't
to
have
know
it
when he
fit
gets on
him.
his
He's
motorbike.
but that's actually a very good point that I didn't even think about what Disparu just said, that he's a Kryptonian. They're from Krypton, so this is just it's like a regular person to alien, whatever, alien to them. So, that was weird. Like he looked at me.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
okay.
God, he's like so amazing. Oh my God. It is just Californian Valley Girls. All of this seems like James Gunn projecting himself.
There we go.
And now you're into the montage bit after
Mhm.
that. So most of this isn't even the start of the movie. It's just random scenes that they've added in from the previous trailer.
Yeah, we already seen this.
This entire trailer is he's on the ground. There's some hills. They put sunlight on him.
Yeah. Well,
This is
I
not
mean, sunlight
marketing.
does charge Superman, but yeah, it's
Well, I'm not having a go at the fact they put sunlight on him. I'm gonna go, why have you done this? You start a movie at the interesting point.
yeah.
This is the anti-climax of the interesting point. Start like James Bond, right? You watch a James Bond film, it starts at the point which is interesting. It starts at the action, where this is at the end of the action.
Yeah. Mike, yeah, it's a good point. It's supposed to be the middle of the action. This is what we get. So I'm gonna go see this. I
Everybody's
still have
well.
I mean, I still have faith that it may be well done, but I'm not really going off the trailers with this one. The couple of I'll be a bit positive here. I do think that he's a handsome guy. I like the casting for
I
Lois.
don't care if he's a handsome guy.
Well, Superman's supposed to be
Like
handsome.
they should have at least have attractive women in it.
I like
if
her.
the
I
movie,
think she's a good Lois.
If the movie started with Kate Beckinsale strutting in lingerie through the snow, it'd be a better trailer.
I
But-
think acting wise, I think she's pretty, but Rachel can act the part, I think, because I've seen her. I haven't seen his acting. Yeah, thanks, Sundowners Club. I think she's Rachel Brosnahan is a perfect for Lois. So the Marvelous Miss Maisel is where I'm taking my critique from. She played a great character in that, and I think that she will project that over here. She can play like sassy and sexy, and I think that she'll be able to do it. I did not like Amy Adams as
what
Lois.
do you think
She
about the
wasn't-
10-minute argument between them? No,
10
sorry,
minute
yeah, I think it's 10 minutes. It
Where?
was it was 10 pages of arguments.
I didn't see
Chris
it.
Chris Gore has spoken about it. That there was 10 pages of an
Mike's on board with Lois. Yeah, they
there
show
was
her
10
boobies in that.
pages of an argument between Lois and Superman. A
I didn't see
10-page
that.
No, this is Chris Gore. Like he says, he stopped doing the scooper
He's-
stuff, but he said that
okay.
after he's just been doing the scooper stuff. So there was a 10-page argument between them in the script. 10 pages goes on for a long time. I think he either said 5 or 10 minutes. There was I think there was some kind of time mentioned. Well, there you go. A 10-minute argument, domestic argument between Superman and Lois.
Yeah. I mean, I can't base this just on Lois, right? But I think she's an upgrade from Amy Adams. I don't mind Amy Adams. She just was not Lois. And her and Henry did not have chemistry. We'll have to see. Like, I can't, let's just say there's things that I can't judge, based on this trailer. So I'm going to go see it and I'm going to keep an open mind. I want it to be
This is a
good.
dodgy picture. This looks like how I would imagine a really lefty California news organization to look.
It's a Daily Planet.
Like, what do you think the entire testosterone level of this building is? That is
He's
that is
looking at
some
her, he's like-
interesting people you've got behind it.
But yeah, I'm
I don't
gonna
even
keep an
know
open
what
mind
some
about
of these
it.
people are. So, like, you've got the two people
Mike.
at the desk on the right, and then you got the one to the top right of the second person. I don't even know what that is. Got a necklace on, so it might be a woman.
Where?
The two people on the desk on the right.
Right here?
Go to the
They're
second
women.
person.
They're
Yeah.
women.
No, the second. Stop flicking. The second person.
Stop
The other
flicking.
person. Now top right.
Right there?
No.
Oh, right there.
That
That's
one,
a guy
yeah.
with a necklace. That's a man.
This is what I mean. Why can't I? Like, this is.
Ian.
It should not be difficult to tell. That could be anything. That looks like he's wearing a blouse.
I just got yelled at. Sorry. Stop flicking. Oh, I didn't mean to hit play. It's fine. All right. So There we go. We'll stop at Lex. I'm like I said, I'm gonna keep an open mind. The only big positive for me on this is Rachel. I always say her name Bronzahan. I can't say her last name, but I think she's gonna be great as Lois. But we gotta see if the writing's there. She could be, fantastic actress, like we're seeing in freaking Daredevil. Charlie Cox is a good actor and he can play the role. We've seen him play the role fantastic, but the writing's not there. So, this Lex looks better than what we got. What was his name? From I forget his name, the last Lex in the movie. He was not it.
I don't
Chat,
know.
help me.
This guy's a decent actor.
Brosnahan. Thank you, Russ. Brosnahan. I'm trying to remember that.
He's not the quality of actor that could save a movie, though.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg.
It's like in Daredevil, I can be like, oh yeah, Frisk and Daredevil, the great actors, they're the best thing about it. I don't think you'd get that with this. I don't think like, well, Superman was crap, or whatever, but the guy that played Lex, he was really stand out. I don't think it's that kind of quality.
Yeah.
It's just James Gunn in itself. When you look through James Gunn stuff, it's like, well, he made Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, the thing is,
But
he's had some hits.
No, actually.
He's had some hits, he's had some misses.
Guardians of the Galaxy. No,
I do like, hold on, actually. I have to look into it now.
And he really loved The Flash. This is a guy who's consistently good at Guardians of... Well, no, I don't think he's consistently good at that. I hated the second one so much I never saw the third.
The third one was better than the second one. Creature Commandos, I will say...
Watching the second one's like getting punched in the face repeatedly. It's the same level of entertainment.
I will say that Creature Commandos is on HBO. I really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to season 2. It's like
I've not seen it, but I've
it's
not
good,
heard
and
good things either. So I didn't.
You haven't heard good things? I really liked it.
No.
I thought it was well written. The action scenes were good. It seemed like some of the scenes were like that could have been live action and been well, but I'm gonna take what I can with good animation. I liked the art style. The Bride was my favorite in it. They took like the Bride. It's the Bride of Frankenstein, but it's a different kind of story, and it's another Suicide Squad essentially.
What I heard about it was that the James Gunn animated himself into the intro sequence.
Yeah, he did.
And
I don't care about the intro though. I like the show.
No, but I think it says something about him as a creator, that he thinks he's the important thing that makes all this stuff successful. And I don't think that's... I think the best Hollywood creators are the ones where you don't really know who they are. They just make something and move on to the next thing. They are not the ones that really revel in the limelight, if they're the main point.
Yeah, I liked Creature Commandos. The Bride, I liked it because you don't get, there's not very much. I mean, the Bride of Frankenstein was in her movie for 5 minutes. So, I mean, this is it's still the story, but it's a different take on it. And I thought it was interesting what they did with her. Will you read this one, Just Brew?
Mark of Reality for $2. That ass still thick, Benjamin Franklin.
He said it and it almost sounded like if you type it into something and have it played like an AI. The way he just said that, AI British man. Ed Song for 5. The Gun Superman cast look only slightly better than the CW show.
I
think it looks.
Sure
I think they look good.
I like Melissa Benoist as Supergirl. I think the guy that played Arrow was really good. I also like the Flash casting. So I had no problem with the actual casting, the characters. Now, the side characters, yeah, that was like playing woke bingo. But like the main characters, I actually think were cast really well in the CW shows.
Okay.
The issue you've got with Gunn is he's really egotistical to the point where he posted something with him. Was like, I thought this would break the internet. It's just a picture of his own face. It was just him and Zack Snyder together. This would break the internet. Nobody cares about you. You're irrelevant. Make a pissing movie and shut up. Go away. It's like, no, I'm the main person people want to know. If you make a good movie, nobody knows who you are. They only know who you are when you make bad movies.
Especially these days, it really stands out.
Oh.
So that we don't forget this topic. You're not really a Nintendo guy, are you?
No, because I'm
PC pretty much. No, you'd be too old.
Yeah,
What do you mean? My mom likes Nintendo. She was a big Super
High
Mario
praise.
Brothers fan. She'd play it right up
Huge
until she
gamer,
had,
your mom. She's renowned on like
she
the
is.
pro gamer
She is
circuits.
she is known. I can't give out her identity. But
Yeah, I can't give out a gamer tag. Actually, she doesn't even have a name. She was born with a gamer tag.
that's true though, Sundowners Club, that James Gunn did spend the whole early marketing campaign talking about himself.
The
as
dog
a
is his own dog. He modeled the dog in the movie after his dog. Like, well, that would explain why it looks retarded. It's just like this is not. It's the wrong. It doesn't even look like. Oh, this is a really super dog. No. I could beat up the dog.
Don't beat up dogs, Disparu.
Beat up that one.
I do what I want. I'll push
You
what I want
like
off
the
the roof.
Flash movie.
Well, yeah, that he definitely gets some points deducted for that. I didn't even watch it, and I'm just gonna say that. Okay, so the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Direct was big news this week. I am a Nintendo fan. I play mostly everything on PC these days, but you can't get Nintendo games on PC. I have
You can.
I have the Switch. Yeah, you can get the emulator. But
Because they're so underpowered that you can actually emulate them immediately. Like, they are so weak-willed as console. They're always like 10 years out of date.
I can add that to the list, Mike. I'm currently working on a different hero from DC. It's actually, I'm not gonna say. I'll wait till I get it
You're
done.
gonna cosplay Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
She's gonna be Henry Cavill in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah. So I am excited for this. I will get the Switch too. I do stream some Nintendo games. I enjoy them. I'm a huge Donkey Kong fan, so I will pull that up in a second. I'm excited for the Donkey Kong game that's coming up. The prices aren't great, but what I'm going to say about the prices, I don't think this is a hot take. I do understand why people are upset about the prices, but back in like 91 it was $50 to get the Super Mario Brothers game. So spending $70 on a game now, inflation, it is what it is. I remember my mom, she couldn't afford to get all these games for me, so a lot of the time we rented them. You can't do that now. So like I said, I do understand parents, you got multiple kids, it's not cheap to get these games, right? You got two kids, one wants this game, one wants another. You're spending 70 each. That's $140 for two games. It's a lot. So what the pricing is supposed to be, I guess, is going to be, you can get the Switch. It's $450 American, and you can buy a bundle where you get the Switch and the new Mario Kart World for $500. So that's $50. 500 for both. Not too bad. It's going to be, right now they're pricing the Donkey Kong Bonanza as 70, which that's probably going to be the only one that I buy, at least for now, for a while, because I'm a big Donkey Kong fan. So I'm going to pull this up and we can just like chat about it.
Just before you do that, if you can pull this
What?
up. Now, I can't find the actual numbers for
Hold on.
overtime, so I had to use a third-party thing. And it only goes back to 2017. Well, I just want to pull it. This is just Steam. The active number of people, monthly active users of Steam, from 2017 was about, like 64 million or something over there. And it's now about 130. So, since 2017, Steam's user base has doubled. More than doubled. This is why games haven't changed price. Because, yeah, you can go, oh, well, inflation. But the amount of gamers in that time has increased so significantly, and with a game you only make it once, and then you sell it an infinite amount of times for basically no cost, just digital downloads. This is why games haven't increased in price. There is no need for them to increase in price. Nobody, and especially Nintendo, where the games are so basic, you can't even go off the, well, now we have realistic graphics rather than isometric ones. Nintendo games are still using the old graphics. So, I don't think that the inflation argument holds up at all when you even do a cursory glance at the statistics of players. This isn't like selling physical objects.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of people download. I still buy the physical game.
Oh,
There's a couple
the actual
games.
numbers underneath. I didn't know.
I do still get the downloads once in a while, but for the most part, I get the physical copy of the game, even for the Switch.
Well, not in the Switch 2, where you don't even get anything physical. You get a fake key.
Wait, so the Switch? I didn't see that. Switch 2, they're not having physical copies of the game?
No, in Switch 2, you get a game key, which you still insert into the machine, but that only entitles you to download the game.
Oh, that's weird.
And you still have to switch keys as if it's on the disc, but it's not, because you still have to download all of them. Which I'm not against digital downloads. Steam's been digital downloads since I was like 18 or something. I haven't had a disc drive in a PC in well over a decade. So I'm not a physical game person.
That's a fair point, Janky Kong. Nintendo games are expensive because of the reputation of quality being family friendly. I'm not saying that justifies it. He also says that only some games are game keys.
I think it's expensive because it's a closed system. Nintendo is essentially the Apple of the video game. They know people will pay it because they like their games. If you want their games, you buy a Switch.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play this in the background while I'm not gonna put sound on. This is the game that I want. The Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's been 8 years since we've gotten a Donkey Kong game. I didn't play Tropical Freeze. I didn't get that one. But yeah, it sucks. I know for parents, like I said, especially this economy right now, it's not going to be easy for people to acquire this game. What I think is going to happen for most parents that can afford it, if they save up, Christmas time is going to be big for the Switch. There's going to be a lot of kids that have to wait. They're not going to have it over the summer. Then Christmas is going to come, and that's when the kids are going to get it because the parents are going to save up. And, that's what my mom did. I got my Nintendo 64, it's like the iconic 90s kids thing. I got my Jungle Green 64 for Christmas, and that was just, I was ecstatic over that. I wish I still had it. My mom got rid of it. I'm so sad that I don't have my Jungle Green 64 anymore.
Like this. You are not telling me that these graphics require, oh my god, we need the extra $20 a game because we spend so much on game developers. Look, the photorealism of the game costs us so much.
It's because they can get it.
Well, yeah, and I would respect the Nintendo fans more if they just went, well, you'll buy it anyway. Yeah, I agree with you. It's when they go, well, inflation and this, and you got to do this, and all these numbers. Like, it's the justifying that doesn't work. If you were just like, well, it's a closed garden, and it was the best-selling console, so they realized they could. Yeah, true. There was actually one guy who went, well, it'd be stupid not to increase the price. I was like, that's far more a reasonable business proposition.
Yeah. You have old games in storage, but X-Wing saw the N64, so I agreed to give it all the games with it. Lucky X-Wing, man. I want to get the 64 again so bad. I want my Jungle Green 64 back. I want to have a retro gaming room eventually where I just have not every single one, just the ones that, liked growing up with, which would most likely just be, I do have the Super Nintendo already. Thank you, Ian. I have the Super Nintendo again.
I think I've still got my Super Nintendo. I'm not sure where it's got all the wires, but I've still got the console.
Yeah, I want the 64, and then I want PlayStation. I had a PlayStation 2 within the last 10 years, but I don't know what happened to it. It might be at my mom's or something. But I have a Game Boy Advance. Yeah, the GoldenEye game was great on 64, but yeah, I'm excited for it. The pricing, it does suck. There's also one more thing I want to pull up before we get off the Nintendo topic. The tariff thing here. This is a bit newer news. I just saw this the other day. Pre-orders for Nintendo Switch 2 in the US will not start April 9th, 2025 in order to assess the potential impact of tariffs and evolving market conditions. Nintendo will update timing at a later date. The launch date of June 5th, 2025 is unchanged. GameStop will continue to work closely with Nintendo and provide updates. Already? Yeah, I think it's $450 USD for
the Switch. Are they saying
Switch.
They might increase the prices? Because otherwise, what's the problem?
Yeah, that's true. If they increase prices, people are going to be livid, and I will understand that. But
that's the only reason to delay, surely, to know if you actually need to increase them, which they might do.
Yeah, that's true. If they increase it, people are going to be mad. That's going to hurt them if they increase it.
I'm assuming.
I mean, $450 for a console is not that bad.
The game keys, right?
I mean, it's expensive, but
if it was digital downloads, it wouldn't be applicable to tariffs. Digital.
Yeah.
You're not importing anything.
Yeah.
But if you're importing game keys that aren't manufactured within the
And
US,
the actual console itself, you think they might raise the price of the actual console?
well, yeah, but even the console, it hasn't been unusual throughout history to take a loss. So even if they decided to just eat that, you could understand it. But if you have to constantly import games which are now subject to tariff, all because you want a little fake game key which doesn't even have game data on it, you're kind of screwing yourself there rather than just doing digital-only downloads.
Yeah. I mean, if they raise it, people are going to be mad. I mean, they already are, but I don't think $450 is expensive. Yeah, but I don't think that seems pretty fair for consoles. I mean, how much is it for PS5? 500, right?
I'm not against the price of the console or whatever.
No.
I mean, if you look at Steam Deck and everything, you know, just a certain amount of things these cost. Got a screen in compared to other stuff. I think it was the game price that most people took an issue with it as such. One of the best tweets I saw, though, was when the Nintendo guy said, we put an LCD screen back into it after careful thought. And the tweet was, yeah, after you thought you could sell them an OLED version again in 3 years. Which is the only reason to downgrade your screen.
Yeah.
It does seem like they are the Apple of gaming, and they just take advantage of their customer base now because they know you want to play Donkey Kong.
Yeah, look how it's $700 Aussie dollars for the base console. It's insane.
That's how currency works.
It's
people with lower powered currency. They get a bigger numbers.
Mazda was telling Boss Hog, sending him and Lethal like, send us a new Switch. And I'm like, yeah, you guys should have somebody from the US send you. It'd be a lot cheaper.
Well, only in numerical value, not actual currency. It's like if you watch any Korean stuff, it's like, how much you in debt? Oh, about 15 million. I'm like, sorry.
Or honestly,
how did you get that off a bank? It's like, oh no, it's actually about 100K.
Like if someone could just send them money, just same thing like when I send X-ray money, she gets more. Poor Disparu gets less. Sorry.
Yes,
but that's how currency works, like he just said.
It's just the transfer. It always gets me when it was like, well, in Canada, it's like, yeah, but it's worth the same amount.
Yeah, it is, but it's, yeah.
It's about purchasing power.
Yeah. Very true. Ed Song for 5. She has shown her true colors. # wicked aristocrat.
Yes.
No.
She will be whipping the peasants until they farm her enough money for another Switch.
Yes. Bird Up for 5. Back then, when you were paying $50 for Super Mario, you got a complete game that you actually own. Now they want you to spend $80 for a download. Yeah, see, I didn't know that it was mostly just going to be like that. I didn't watch the whole direct.
It's the way everything will be going. It's only a matter of time until all consoles do. And I'm not against it just because I'm so used to it with PC games. Everything is digital. You can't even get a physical PC copy. But I do appreciate that console players are still attached to it, and so it is a big deal for them.
Yeah,
I actually thought the game keys were the worst of both worlds until someone said, well, you can sell a game key. Like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Oh, that's good. But no, it does make me a bit sad as someone who grew up with Nintendo. I'm going to miss having the actual games because when I have the option, I do buy physical. But I play a lot of PC games now too. So yes, the majority of my game library, especially the ones that I stream, are downloaded because they're from Steam for the most part.
Yeah, I just find it so much easier to be like, I want to play this game. It's already, I don't need to swap discs. I don't even find the disc. I don't need a shelf with them all on that I can get to in easy reach. It's just on the hard drive. Even with movies and stuff, it's so much nicer to have digital versions of them than DVDs.
Ian for £50. Thank you. I just paid 11 million Tanzanian shillings for a plane ticket.
Yeah.
What even is that currency?
Well, I'm not even sure you get a plane when you're from Tarzan. You probably have to swing there.
From Tarzan.
He has to swing across the Atlantic on vines. Have you ever seen that picture of Tarzan where you're like, how is he holding onto the vine?
It's like his butt.
Yeah.
His butt cheeks.
Like, because he's holding her with one, and he's holding something else with the other, and the vine is still coming down behind him. It's like he must be gripping it with his arse. It's the only way. That was the thing. Tarzan, incredible muscle control.
He does the squats just like Will Smith.
Yeah. This is the whole point, though. If you got to go around like Tarzan, you'd have to pay someone to upkeep the
His
vines. And
toes.
that is what the Scottish do. The Scottish don't have technology. They
Oh,
just
it's part
pay
of
people
Australia?
to build
No,
out
it's not.
big, long plant conveyances across the world.
Ed
Gonna
Song
see
for
Ian's-
5. Wiping peasants? What does that mean? How despicable is that East?
That's because drunk 3PO doesn't wipe, he just gets in the shower.
Oh gosh. Moving on. Jose Taco for 199.
That's what
Thank
he
you.
said. Nobody else asked him for this. He volunteered the knowledge.
Donkey Kong is 70 with full game in cart. Not all are key. Okay.
Well, the thing is,
thank
though,
you.
the
Jose?
only... Well, I suppose... Yeah, because, well, if you've got a game cartridge and some of them are on there, that's still better. Because that's the thing. If the rest are just digital download, that's actually worse. The only advantage to game keys I could see is that you could sell the game key. So we tried to actually all be on the cartridge, or you have the game key that you can sell. And even then, you can just
What's
sell
up,
the
Rhino?
digital version. They could code that.
So it is part of Australia. Okay. I believe Rhino
Yeah.
because he lives there. Maybe not in
He has to fight off the
Tasmania,
snakes.
but
Every second of his life is a constant battle with nature while he's consuming Fosters and eating floury onions, from what I've gathered.
flowery. Oh, bloomin'
I
onion.
can't remember the actual term for them, but I know it's like a deep fried onion flour. And then somebody posted a picture of him in a hat, and like that doesn't work because he needs to have corks hanging down. Otherwise, he's not Australian. In Mozza news, I was watching Mobland earlier.
I love how you said that as I popped this up, like in Mazda
no,
News, like he's
in
the one that did
Mozza News, I was watching Mobland, and there's a guy walks up to a guy who's fishing, and he's like, "Well, if the fish aren't biting, just feed him a whelk. The fish go potty for a cheeky whelk." And like, that's so Mozza. It's like, no, you love a cheeky pie.
Oh my gosh. Well, on some different
I
kind
would
of
lock
news.
this guy away for the rest of his life and never let him out. That's just
So, a YouTuber was arrested after attempting to reach an uncontacted tribe in North Sentinel Island. He brought them a coconut and a can of Diet Coke as his offering. He's lucky that he didn't get killed because these uncontacted tribes. No, a lot of times I can't remember the story. It was a guy who was like he wanted to contact them and make sure they were okay. Like he was I forget what word I'm looking for here, but he wasn't like a YouTuber just trying to get attention. He actually wanted to help and he was interested, but it was stupid that he did this. He was like a preacher too, like he was a man of God and he was just trying to do good. And he goes there and he was never seen again because they killed him immediately.
Yeah.
He was coming up on a boat and they don't trust it because like they don't have vaccines and stuff, right? So you come and you get them sick, they could die.
Well,
that's
the
another big
legal
thing.
reason why you're not allowed to do it. But there's a whole plethora of other reasons why you shouldn't. For instance, this guy is like, well, Coke's amazing. They don't need Coke. They don't need your corn syrup water. Your way of life isn't necessarily improvement of what they have. Their birth rate is above replacement. Yours isn't. And it's like, oh, my culture's so superior to yours. Obviously, need to benefit from my wisdom.
Missionary, yeah.
Like, this guy, just looking at his picture, is not somebody who holds the secrets to the kingdom of heaven. Like, this is not somebody that you go to when you've got a problem. He did it for a stunt for YouTube. And
that's what I'm saying. He's lucky he didn't die. Getting arrested is way better than what could have happened.
I'm like,
Uh,
that's the happy ending.
him dying? He looks like a stoner, like he doesn't know what's going on.
Like, I am
McFly, that's a
entirely
good
against.
point, yeah.
There's so many social media people that their entire like YouTube stuff or TikTok or any of the other things, any of the platforms, just seems to be going around the world and destroying other people's lives. I'm like, no. Like, the best thing that's ever happened to Johnny Somali is he finally got arrested.
Was he
Like,
the one that was like just doing atrocious things in like Korea
Yes.
and stuff? And they got okay,
everywhere.
yeah.
And he went to the east because he
worse.
thought they wouldn't beat him up. And he turns out, actually, if
They
you go to a
did.
country where they have compulsory military service,
Oh, he
yeah,
got
they're not
his
afraid to
butt
punch you.
handed to him.
yeah, but he went to Japan because he thought they were a soft touch. When he went to other countries and he tried it on, And then he finds out that actually the rest of the world isn't like America. They don't care what you look like. They'll just dish out justice. He left. And then he went back to Japan because he knew that they were too polite to do anything to him. And he thought Korea was the same because he's too thick to know there's a difference
He's
between
an
Korea and
idiot.
Japan.
This guy didn't die, Shane. He got arrested. But the guy I was talking about before, there was a missionary man that went to one of these uncontacted tribes and got killed. But yeah, there's lots of reasons. They get bad experiences if they let an outsider in. They can get extremely sick because, like I said, they're not vaccinated or anything. So you go over there and you have like a minor cold, you could get them very sick. So,
but also they don't need your culture. They don't need your genetic dead end culture. They're doing fine on their own in their own place. Like, oh well, they don't have LCD screens. Yeah, but they're probably happy how they are. And you get down to like the Star Trek kind of conversation about the Prime Directive. That if you bring people something they've never had, they didn't evolve it. They didn't come up with incremental societal improvements to be able to handle it. You don't know what the effects are, and you could end up destroying them. And so it doesn't. You let people do. It's a case of why should you work out? Well, the reason why you because you could just have, let's say there was a technological invention that just made you be incredibly muscular. Should you take it? It's like, well, probably is an advantage through going through the hard work and working out like the dietary requirements and actually going through the pain and the suffering in order to gain the thing that trains you to use it properly rather than just jumping to the end. And you want these people to jump to the end and expect them to know how to handle it. We don't know how to handle social media. It's already destroying our cultures. And like, well, let's just bring them everything. I'm entirely against interfering with their nation as it is. Leave them be. They're happy as it is. They're far happier than you are with your SSRIs.
Yeah. This guy's a friggin' idiot. A coconut and a can of Diet Coke. First of all, they probably already have coconuts on their island. They don't want your stupid...
He probably got the coconut from a local island.
Probably. And the can, they don't need your can of chemicals.
No,
okay?
they don't need your diabetic juice. Like, seriously.
Seriously.
It's done so great for America, hasn't it? High fructose corn syrup that we need to introduce it to the rest of the world.
Diet's worse than regular. Okay, sugar's not good for you, but diet is just a chemical cocktail. Like if you're gonna drink a soda, just get a regular one with real sugar. Okay.
No, my main problem with Coke in America is that it doesn't have sugar in it. It has high fructose corn syrup. It
probably has both. It has both.
Our Coke tastes better because it has sugar in it.
I'm sure it does, yeah. So I've had it, like I don't drink a lot of soda, but like if I find one that says like it's real sugar, you look at it and it's actually made with sugar and not like what the normal processed stuff we get here, it does taste better. But diet, like sorry to all my diet drinkers, but I think that's worse for you because it's just a chemical cocktail.
Aspartame and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's similar to when people realized that margarine was almost identical to plastic.
I also think that like because when you think about it, a lot of people that like are strictly like they drink diet because they want to like lose weight. A lot of times they don't because there's something in it that is spiking your glucose. Because like this aspartame, like you said, and all that. It's just
even that you get down to the point where like I forget what the chemical is that all the celebrities have been having recently to lose weight. Just because that exists, should you take it, or should you actually just stop eating as much as you're eating now? If you do it the proper way, where you do it yourself, well, now you've built up the self-control to do it for the rest of your life. Whereas the other way, you have to keep taking that for the rest of your life because you're still the same person that can't resist chocolate that you were before. I don't think these shortcuts matter. And this is what entertainment stuff used to tell us. That actually the harder method is where the virtue lay. That's what you should be doing. And now it's like, no, you were amazing all along. You just needed to find this medical treatment that saved you all the time.
I pretty much just drink water, and if I want something like with dinner, I have blueberry with lemon because it's good for you, and it's not putting a bunch of fake sugar in your drink. And blueberries are good for you. So blueberry and lemon are both good for you. So anybody in the chat, if you want a change in your drinking habits and you still want a little bit of flavor. Get some frozen blueberries and some lemon. Tastes good. Put that in your water. DK's kitchen. I drink from the aquarium.
Yeah, it's the fish eggs. That's what really does it for me.
Oh my gosh.
But like, I only really enjoy water when it's got fish urine in it.
I don't drink wine every day. But I'm just saying, as far as regular drinks,
just 6. Just 6 out of 7.
Regular drinks, coffee and water. I drink that, and then obviously my alcohol sometimes, but no, not every day. I do enjoy having.
I switched to whiskey because it had it had no sugar in it.
Yeah.
That is legitimately.
And now
the
you
reason.
just really like whiskey.
I didn't like whiskey when I started. Yeah, it was a case of it is an acquired taste, and you do learn to like it over time. But I think it took about a week, and I read like how do you even learn to like it. They were like, well, just take a drink of it every day with ice, and it'll happen. It's like, oh, I did.
I did, and now I love it.
I was like, well,
Ian for 50. Thank you for another 50 pounds, Ian. British Coke is now worse. They introduced a sugar tax and replaced about a third of the sugar with artificial sweeteners. Ooh.
I haven't had the Coke in a while. That's true. Since the sugar tax. But even so, high fructose corn syrup just doesn't taste nice. I tried it when I was in America last time and didn't try it the first time. I'm like, this tastes awful. What's wrong? And then I looked at the ingredients and realized it didn't have sugar in it. And I don't understand why, because you've got Coke and they've got Diet Coke. What's wrong with putting sugar in the Coke? Sugar isn't expensive. You don't need a cheap alternative to sugar. I'm confused why it even exists.
I don't know. I can't answer that for you. 2 penny puppet for 2. Thank you. Look up an old movie called The Gods Must Be Crazy. 1980. Let's see.
No idea. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it either. Okay.
They did used to like their movies about gods, though, especially the Greek gods. We don't get enough movies and stuff about Greek
I
gods
used to be
anymore.
so obsessed with learning about the Greek gods and their history.
The Norse gods,
so
they also have some weird stories. Like, there was one, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Thor, where they stole his hammer, so he turned into a woman, married the guy that stole his hammer, stayed with him for years, had kids, and then eventually wormed his way into like the guy's trusted graces after decades of having kids with him, stole the hammer back and murdered him. And I'm like, this guy, that's commitment right there.
So this is a 1980 movie, a comic allegory about a traveling bushman. Allegory. Sorry,
I would scroll past the video because I don't know what.
I don't know. Yeah, so I'm who encounters modern civilization and its stranger aspects, including a clumsy scientist and a band of revolutionaries. Huh. I'm gonna keep this up. Let's see. You can watch it. Oh, it's free on Tubi. Tubi's free.
There was some really weird
Movies on Tubi.
Well, no, it's just like the older movies. They used to try a lot more kind of things. Whereas everything now tends to be kind of similar. But, oh, you've got an action, you've got a gangster movie, or you've got a superhero movie. Everything fits into specific genres. Whereas back in the day, they would just try things because movies were cheap enough you could take the risk.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this random stuff. These stars are on the rise. Oh yeah, these two have
She
been.
does look 40 though, doesn't she? In that picture.
Too much makeup on her. Yeah.
Well, it's not just the makeup; it's the style of makeup. So she's got the Instagram face, which just comes from. It just looks like she's a man trying to be a woman. That's what that style of makeup is. You're trying to give yourself
drag
female
makeup.
features. Yeah.
Female features that she already has because she's a female.
Well, in the movie because I know she was complaining. Well, everyone keeps saying I look old, and then the movie came out. What was it? Electric State. Didn't look anywhere near look nothing like all of her pictures in the movie. Because they stripped her of all that crap makeup. She's doing it to herself, essentially. Or it's the fashionistas and stuff which are doing it to her.
They get a bottle of Coke and it ruins their tribe. Wow, so this comes with two things we were talking about just now.
Well,
All right, I'll check it out on Tubi. Thank you, 2 penny puppet, for another $2 super chat and for the movie suggestion.
It's any contact ruins their tribe because they suddenly realize all this stuff exists and they don't really know why. And so you end up with things like, well, now they worship Coca-Cola. Like, you put them on a different civilizational path via the interaction. They don't know that, and this is the issue. That guy is not clever enough to realize any of this stuff. He's not clever enough to even consider the second-order impacts of what he's doing. So he just shouldn't be allowed to do it. More intelligent people than him have told him that you can't do it. I don't care what you think, stop it. And if you don't want to, well, then you just go in prison for the rest of your life because you cannot be trusted. And there's this whole thing of, no, everyone should be able to do it. No, you do ridiculous things beyond what you are capable of understanding.
No, what's that? I can look it up.
Cargo cults, there's various different tribes and stuff where American military
Mr.
bases...
Straps DVD of coupling on an island.
What? Hey, at least that'd improve the civilization.
Anyway, sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
American bases and stuff. So they were around native tribes. They didn't really interact with them and stuff, but the native tribes saw things like planes arriving and dropping off cargo, dropping off military equipment to the bases. Well, not all of it lands where it's supposed to. So sometimes these tribes would just find these food drops and stuff that were meant for the American military. So this becomes part of their culture, and they start worshipping the planes. And these people came along that were like gods. They come down from the skies and they built all of this impressive stuff that we don't have the ability to understand. And then the Americans left. And so these people started building essentially statues to worship. They saw these people as gods, so they built aeroplanes that they worshipped. They started praying for the drops from the sky to bring them new food that they used to have and stuff. And they essentially built a religion around just American military because they didn't comprehend it.
That's interesting.
Well,
I like
all of
that.
this stuff used to be discussed in things like Star Trek, but now our entertainment has descended to such a point where people can't understand anything but themselves. They can't even begin to comprehend these kind of ideas.
Yeah. No, that's I never knew that. Thank you. So I guess it's getting to that time. What do you have coming out? I mean, this is a busy week for you, so you're gonna have quite a few videos coming out
Yeah,
shortly.
the
Doctor
biggest
Who
ones,
and
biggest ones will be G20 and Doctor Who, as well
Mhm.
as any reviews or whatever that come out about them at the time. Been looking forward to those for a long time. they're both going to be glorious
Just
in my
excited.
sense of the word. Yeah,
That's just
I want to
Drew's,
see a
bread and
female
butter
president of
there.
the United States turn into John Wick.
It's probably gonna be, if anything, it's gonna be entertaining for all the wrong reasons, like
Yes.
not what they wanted, but this was gonna get quite a few good
In my
laughs, I think.
headcanon, this is why Jennifer Sulky got fired. They saw this and were like, no, we cannot allow you to greenlight anything else.
Slosher, thank you for the Canadian 10. Yeah, we just were talking about that. There was a movie from the 80s called The Gods Must Be Crazy, where part of the plot is the tribe starts having fights and hurt each other over a Coke bottle that someone threw from a plane. Yeah, it's free on Tubi if anyone hasn't seen that. I'm gonna check it out.
And you can understand it,
Thank
right?
you,
Imagine
Slasher.
going back to medieval times. So you've got a load of people fighting big plate mail, swinging swords at each other, and then from the sky drops a smartphone.
Can you
And people
imagine?
are
Oh my
taking pictures of
gosh.
each other, so now they can freeze time. They're like, oh, I can capture
You're fine.
time in this device. You have no idea how it works, and then it runs out of electricity, and like, you broke it. Well, that guy's getting killed because he's just broken the time-stopping machine. And you can't... A lot of people struggle to imagine the world from somebody else's perspective, and this is way too far out for them to even begin to imagine.
Yeah.
There are some things that people should not be allowed to do. You don't have to understand why. Just do as you're pissing told.
True. Okay, so you have your videos coming out next week. Tomorrow I will be playing Repo for the first time for the Sunday night Scream stream that I do. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be funny. And then Wicked's World on Thursday. A couple gaming streams sprinkled throughout the week. And then of course Saucy next Saturday. Andrew Matthews, thank you for the £2. Was the worm goo in Willow High fructose
I don't think it was. It may have been used in corn, but I don't think it was corn turned into it.
Here, this one's for you, Disparu. I'll let you read this one.
Just used to conquer people like that? Yes. And now look at us. We should have left him alone.
Thank you for the
And, like,
10.
the best part of their civilization is when we own them, and then the moment we left, everything fell apart.
I gotta try to pronounce this. Mephistopheles?
I would say Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles?
But
That
I only
sounds
know
better.
because Mephisto is a name.
Mephistopheles. Okay.
But I would assume the rest is Feliz.
Makes more sense.
But
Well-
yes, the world was better when we conquered it. The problem is when you conquer somewhere, you have to keep owning it. Otherwise, it comes back to bite you. Because then you're just giving technology to people who don't know how to use it properly. Everything falls apart.
Everything falls apart.
Look at the American.
Mephistopheles. Mephistopheles.
Yeah, Mephistopheles. Yeah, Mephisto. Yeah, because it's
Mephistopheles.
well, there was an O, wasn't there, though?
Mephistopheles.
I thought it was
Chat's everyone in the chat.
Mephisto. Like the start of the name is Mephisto.
We got close. I don't know. It's getting near the end of the night. I'm getting tired, but I'm gonna send you guys over
It was
to.
nice when Wicked says she's getting tired when it's 3 a.m. here.
I know. Sorry. He's like, please. He's like, I'm exhausted.
getting tired at 9 p.m.
It's 10 p.m. It's been a long
sorry.
day. It's been a long day. My days start really early though. Read Faust.
I think it's Faust.
Read Faust. Oh, I thought he was saying Faust, like how you would pronounce it. Read Faust. Thank you for.
I only know Faustian to mean Satan.
Mayf-
so I don't know. It's Faust.
I'm sorry. I'm reading the chat now. It's messing me. Thank you.
Yeah,
but
even if I Google Faust, it's a 2000 movie about a man who sells his soul to the devil. I don't know who Faust is in this regard.
Well, my whole day isn't YouTubing. I work
Mine is.
and do a lot of stuff, but thanks for the concern. I appreciate it. I'm going to send you guys over to Project Eggroll. It's Phil's birthday stream. So go give them some love.
Is he going to blow his birthday horn?
It's Phil, so possibly.
Well, there you go then. Minecraft was a prediction. Get in
All
your
right.
birthday suit and blow your birthday horn, folks. That's what
It's
the kids
Phil,
need to
so
be
you never
told.
know.
Well,
Well, I'm still up to Shrews go for a beer.
yeah. Don't worry, I'll just fly to Scotland.
All right, guys, we are out.
We'll get one of them Twitch beers.
Ew. Okay, on that note, we're really out. Go
Yoni,
say hi.
folks.
Go say hi to Phil and Graham. Have a good night, guys. We will see you next week. Bye.
Yeah.